But you know, one thing that I'm really, and I said this to Kane personally, but I want to say it on the pod as well, is like, they're doing really well and they're getting success and they're winning stuff and they're starting to get a name and stuff. And I'm proud of them for that. And I think it's dope. But I almost couldn't give a shit about What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Capsule. We are back. We have 2 episodes for you this week because we had some other stuff going on and we didn't get one out last week. We did put out the vlog though, Red Bull Dance Your Style vlog. So go and check that out. I got a lot of good feedback about that, so I'm very happy that people liked it. Definitely going to try and do more stuff like that. And yeah, so we are back in the home studio with one of our regulars and one of our irregulars. So we have Tali on my left, on your right, and we have the one and only, the artistic directing, trap lording, fucking
talk it out.
What else? Everything else. We're gonna get to all of his credit. We're just gonna give you a CV of Chaldon. But it's Chaldon, ladies and gentlemen.
Zip. Happy to be here.
Hi guys, what's going on? How's life? What's happening?
Good. Life is good. Life be lifing, as we always say.
Life do be lifing.
Yeah.
I saw the new not Trap Lord. That's what I just said. The Tribeways merch.
This is the old t-shirt actually.
But you got new stuff coming
design. Yeah, I'm gonna get the new design coming out soon. I don't know about pricing because I want better quality t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah,
like this quality is pretty like basic, and even just the print as well. I want like screen printing.
Like,
but yeah, obviously that's gonna cost a bit of money, so we'll see.
True. Where can people find them?
Just wait for the post online, bro.
Cool.
Yeah,
check out Tribeways if you haven't already. Yeah. How about you?
How about me? How's my merch?
How's your merch?
Where's the III
Yeah,
merch?
Where is the III?
Come on, I want a t-shirt.
It should be 3 eyes,
Facts.
like literal eyes, like 1, 2, 3.
I don't want to.
That's crazy.
That's a dumb idea,
t-shirts.
Right? You don't want to do t-shirts?
I don't want to do t-shirts.
You know what would be sick is like doing t-shirts, but with different quotes from the "We Are Not Really Strangers" on there. Or like
that would be cool.
Like a little.
I'd get into trouble. I'd sooner do like, "Are you free for free?" Like my own.
Oh
quotes.
yes, that too.
I want "Are you free for free" t-shirt. I'm not gonna lie, that's cold.
But I want to avoid t-shirt. I think I'd do like notebooks or like socks or like a set of 3 candles for like the different eyes.
That is very Tali.
Yeah, I'm not against t-shirts, but I just know once I've like passed a phase of being attached to a tee, I've just got a pile of dance tees that I don't do anything with.
I very rarely wear tees from events, if it helps.
Like I love my Trap Lord tee, but that is predominantly the fit of the tee. Like I really enjoy it. The Artist for Artist tee got a lot of wear out of me, but generally once the sentimental moment has gone. But no, I've got ideas for
merch,
for products, but not just like slapping my logo on a
fair
on a thing, which sounds like a jab at what
bad man, because I'm fully wearing my t-shirt.
Me too, don't worry. I've got Capsule
mugs. He's got mugs. He's got
like if we do a recap, it's like, Chaldon, so when is the new Tribeway stuff coming? You're like, yeah, I'm gonna put it out, blah blah. And Tali's like, yeah, I'm not just slapping my logo on a t-shirt. I'm gonna do something good.
Everyone does a t-shirt.
Yeah,
everyone does
now.
do a t-shirt.
Guys, on this topic, go and buy a Capsule t-shirt and a Tribeways t-shirt.
I didn't mean it like that.
Don't buy no eye, nothing.
Do you know, like it is mostly from just like an eco-conscious point of view as opposed to...
now we're destroying the environment. Okay. What about your candles? They're going to burn the ozone layer.
Soy.
Exactly. My t-shirts are organic, so what about that? They're really not. They're not.
But they will be, hopefully. That's what we're hoping
maybe,
for.
maybe.
He's like, I'm not prioritizing that.
But no, I used to do like I started with Sweet Spot Sundays, like doing this whole loyalty card thing. But I thought I'd have like 15 people just pretty much in rotation, and because there's like loads of new ones, I was like, I'm just gonna make a spreadsheet and keep it online because this is a lot of paper just floating about.
Oh, you were actually giving them cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, hear you.
And then I was like, the planet.
What's the deal with apps? Like, is it easy to make an app, or is this like still a whole big thing? Like, because I don't know. Like, I think before you used to have like, you used to need like a programmer and a whole thing.
Like, is there kind of like a Squarespace of the app building
That's
world?
exactly what I'm asking. Yeah.
I would imagine so at this point. I don't know what it is though.
Because also, I feel like this is where we all need an app. Like, imagine just download the Sweet Spot Sundays app and then just log into your account and you see how many sessions you've done, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like studios have apps as
Yeah,
well, so
but
like
they
you must be able
they
to.
use like
They're through another
Mind
company.
Body. Yeah.
Right.
Or like another scheduling app, but they just kind of
put their face on
interface
it.
Yeah.
But that would be sick for like, classes and stuff if you run your own situation.
I think I was thinking about that even for the capsule. It'd be sick to have like an app and like for people to have their own profile on it. Because there used to be this app ages ago called Photoshoot. And it was like you could sign up as a photographer or as a model, and then you could search whatever the opposite was. So if you sign up it's not professional, so it's like if you want to be a photographer or a model, I signed up as a photographer, and then it's basically everyone that wants to shoot for free or like get test shoots. You can just search the type of shoots you want to do or the type of photographer you are, and you can just connect with people and then write to them and be like, hey, do you want to organize a shoot? And it's actually really nice. But I was thinking that'd be sick to have for just dance community wise. Is like, obviously we have Insta and all that, but like if you could just search, you're like, oh, I'm going to Japan, what dancers are in this city, and just like see who's on the app in that city or something. I don't know.
Speaking of Instagram, you've both got Threads.
Yes.
I feel like you just joined.
Yeah, recently, yeah.
Well, it's only been 6 days, but yeah. You went on day one. Like I was on like within an hour.
What number are you?
Crazy.
Oh, what?
Are you in the
have a number?
hundreds?
No, not even
Yeah,
close.
you have a number.
What? And that's like how...
Like what number you were to join, I think.
Say what? No, I'm like way in... Is this thing?
Yeah, I believe so.
Your serial number thing? Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's
your
what I
number...
thought.
169266651.
16
Million?
million.
Holy sh...
Wow.
So maybe it wasn't within the hour. Also, I think it released in a different time zone first.
Yeah. But you're on it. I've heard it's a happier place to be than Twitter.
You are not on
For
it?
now.
I'm not on it yet, no. I've heard you can't delete it
Well,
without deleting your Insta.
it's like you can... all right. Here's my mediation take on that, because everyone was like blowing up over that. I think it's like the same as saying you can't delete your
Facebook
stories if you don't delete your Instagram account. It's technically Threads is just an extension of Instagram, right? So it's like your profile will still exist, but you could delete everything off it and just have nothing there, no profile picture, no nothing. But because it's linked to your Instagram account,
You
they're
can't
saying,
delete your account.
yeah, you can't just delete your Instagram. It's like saying you can't stop sharing stories. If you just don't put anything on your stories, then fine. But that little circle above your thing with this, where your stories would go, is still going to be there.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is for Threads. It's like, it's not that you can come off the app completely, but it's just, you will still have a thing there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Still a mess, but it's just the way of the
Yeah.
world now.
But I like it. The for now bit is the truth, because it's like everyone's like, oh, Threads is so much nicer. There's no one like being racist or anything, and it's like, yeah, well, that's because everyone's just saying all of Threads is just people saying, oh,
I'm
Threads
here.
is cool. Yeah, just join this Threads thing. Let's see what it's about. But it's like people will settle down and then start being racist
I did
immediately.
think this could be my resurgence of hot takes.
I think it's
Just
good for that.
Me just doing what I used to do on Facebook and being like, hey, so let's talk about such and such.
Yeah.
But I'm not there yet.
I think my thing was like, I think Twitter would have been sick, but my like community isn't on Twitter. So I was using it for like following celebrities and things that are like, if an album comes out, like seeing what the reactions to the album are and stuff like that. But I wasn't actually tweeting with anyone. Really, there's like maybe 5 people I know from the scene that were on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I think now everyone on Threads, I think, is actually, well, this is my opinion. I think is good because we obviously, part of the reason I started the podcast was like to stir up conversation and stuff like that. But I think a lot of people are not used to articulating themselves and also dealing with the consequences of articulating themselves.
Yeah, I remember seeing you. Yeah.
So it's like they you know, people will talk behind closed doors, and I think, you know, this has been really one good thing for me on the pod, but also in general is like, when you have an opinion about anything, I'm sure you guys have this, like you say it and then you're around friends who hopefully will say to you, I don't know, and they'll poke holes and then they'll say, well, what about this? And they'll push back on it, and then you kind of refine it, and then by the time, you know, a week later, you're like, all right, I really have this opinion because I've spoken about this topic to like 20 people, and I think every time I've said it, they've gone, oh, that's a really good point, you know? Whereas I think a lot of people like hold in their opinion. They're like, I think this is bullshit. And it's like they haven't spoken to anyone about it. So they haven't had the pushback or anyone poke holes in it. So they kind of just go, I'm right. Like, and then they put it out in this like massive rant or whatever. And then it like blows up because you're like, everyone's like offended or whatever. I think that's, you know, why I've avoided I haven't avoided trouble completely with the pod, but why I have avoided a lot of trouble is because anything I say on the pod is not, sometimes it's and usually that's when I get in trouble, is because it's the first time I'm ever saying it. But if it's like an opinion, it's like, oh, we'll have talked to you about it off the pod and we've had like 7 conversations. So when I bring it up, yes, maybe I'm saying it in a different way so we have a conversation, but it's not a completely fresh opinion. It's like, it's been tested, I guess. So I think that's what Threads will be good for, is like, people are like, oh yeah, I think I'm the best in the world at hip hop. And it's like, okay, put it on Threads. Let's have a conversation about it.
My God.
Do you know what I mean? And then it's like, when you hear everyone push back and say,
I dare you to put it on Threads. I dare.
It's like, oh, when people are like, oh yeah, like, I don't know, whatever. Like, Motherfunk put up something yesterday. I don't know if you saw that.
About Brooke and Evian.
Yeah, she said like Brooke and Evian are like 2 of the most talented people to come out of the UK.
Undeniable.
She said those 2 are like non-negotiable, but like kind of drop your opinions below. And I think it's good because it's like people can post what they think or whatever, and then it's like, and hopefully what I don't want to happen is that people just like kiss ass on Threads, you know? It's like, hopefully there's someone that, like, I would love if someone was like, no, I actually don't think Brooke is, and here's why. And it's like, cool, let's have a conversation and let's actually articulate ourselves, rather than all this, what I think happens in the dance scene, and maybe I'm wrong, but it's like, there's a lot of stuff that like bubbles up behind the scenes. It's like everyone thinking something. It's like, yeah, well, Brooke is like, everyone says Brooke's good, but I don't think he's actually that good. And it's like, you just bubbles and bubbles and bubbles. And then it comes out as fuck Brooke one day, you know? Whereas like, I think if we have these conversations, it's like, we're actually getting all our feelings about these topics out, and it's a bit more reasonable. Hopefully everything will be a bit more reasonable. Obviously Twitter wasn't the most reasonable place, but yeah, I don't know. I just think it's nice to like, not only post stuff when there's a picture. That's the other thing. Having to link everything to a picture. It's like, true. You know, someone like posting a picture of their bum and being like,
happy birthday, Nan. I just stole that from
one. But it's like, if there's actually a place where you can go and just like talk and you don't have to be precious about what you're saying. But do you have thoughts of like what you would use it for so far?
For now, I'm just like chatting shit, and just like doing like little outbursts of thoughts and stuff. Yeah, not really. Just like the same as Twitter, really, for me. Because I was on Twitter, but then I kind of like died out a little bit.
Yeah, same.
But I like the way it's kind of connected with Instagram. Especially like even like the followers just kind of instantly find you on there.
Yeah, that's nice. You have to rebuild.
It is a new app though, isn't it? It's not, you don't do it with
that part's long for me. I didn't think that was necessary.
You know what? A bit off-putting for me.
The guy, do you know this guy? I think he's Maseri. I think his name is his second name, but he's like the head of Instagram basically. So if you follow him, he get Adam Maseri.
Right.
He's actually really good. He does loads of interviews he was on Breakfast Club and shit.
Okay.
And, so he posted like today, with so many people joining Threads so fast these last 6 days, the team has been entirely focused on keeping the lights on and fixing bugs, but we're starting to prioritize the obvious missing features like a following feed, the edit button and post search. We're clearly way out over our skis on this, but the team is pumped to start shipping improvements this week. So I think, which I had a suspicion before, but it's like that they just threw it out and then they're like, all right, we're going to, because that's the annoying thing, is like they don't have a following feed. So your feed is just everyone that's on Threads randomly. Yeah, so it's like,
that's
I'm
jarring.
gonna wait.
and that's where everyone was like, put that on the first day. Everyone was like, we need a following feed, and I think that's he's saying
Right.
will come. But I think all these things that are not working, they will upgrade. So maybe give it a few weeks, and then everything will be enjoyable.
Yeah, I might keep it specifically for not rants, but just like thoughts, as opposed to just like repeating what I'm putting, like any promotion that I'm already doing on Insta.
Yeah, I guess
I don't
unless
know,
you
we'll
have
see.
different followers, because like you said, it's the followers from Insta that find you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unless you gain a different audience, because like Twitter might be a different audience than
Yeah, entirely.
Insta, right?
Yeah.
But I think if Insta is the same audience across Insta and Threads, you can just keep it for one specific type of thing rather than having to double or
Yeah.
cross promote or whatever. But
We'll
I think it's good
see.
for the rants and all that.
Just so interesting. Like, I think because it's linked to Insta,
yeah,
just like seeing the immediate pickup of it from everybody.
6
like
million,
like that's
or something
so
so
mad.
crazy in like 6 days.
Like in comparison with TikTok, where it did seem like a slower drift. Maybe that was a generational
I
thing.
saw a thing of like I'll find it, but like how long it took each app to reach.
Oh yeah, I saw this as well.
mad.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
What you're saying, and I'll find it.
No, I just thought it was interesting, just the speed with which it was picked up. But I do think that was largely because it was attached to Insta.
Yeah, and I think people don't want to miss out on stuff. That's why I feel like people will jump on it straight away.
And I guess we saw with TikTok like how successful some people were off it. So I guess there's more inclination to be
The first, yeah, exactly.
like get in there early.
Yeah.
A part of me was thinking like, oh, if I don't get Threads, maybe the algorithm's gonna think, oh, I'm not.
I thought that today.
That's why I got it. I was just like, no, let me get it
It's
now
like,
before.
It's hard enough out here.
Yeah, facts.
Right.
No, I did think about that today, but it obviously didn't change anything. So I
Trust.
still don't have it. I will.
Yeah. Also, it's going to be good for the capsule because dancers, be warned. I will screenshot your threads and post them on the capsule.
Yo, that's
Okay.
crazy.
No, but I think that's what.
Can you tag people? Is it just like Twitter? Like you can do that?
Yeah, you can tag people. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
okay.
Quote them and all of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Right.
can quote them, retweet.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
The
Yeah, I will
hashtags
get
isn't
involved.
live yet, but I think it's coming.
Oh,
and
you
can
can't hashtag.
No, not yet.
Oh,
Apparently
shame.
it's coming. But also you can share straight from threads to your feed, which is cool.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
think
I've
that's the
seen
best.
that.
That's the
Yeah.
best one.
Because that's what I like is that you can, it feels a bit more official when you post. Because what I don't like about people writing on their stories is, first of all, it's like it just looks rushed and pretty shit unless you do a whole post. But with threads, it's a bit more official and it feels a bit more cemented. So if you're going to post something, I feel like you have to give it a second thought before you post it. Whereas I feel like people on their stories, they just kind of do these rants and then post it and it goes
Yeah,
away in
yeah.
a day. And it's like, all right, you don't have to we don't have to discuss what you said anymore
Yeah,
because
trust.
it's gone, you know?
But
Whereas-
Threads is still there. You can go on their account.
It's
Yeah.
like, so give it a little bit of thought before you say what you're trying to say, I guess. But yeah, I think it's going to be good for these type of dance debates and talks and stuff. And like when people want to like bring up these kind of conversational things, which I think
Yeah,
suits
definitely.
the pod stuff really well, because also the more people that are bringing up, like what Motherfucker said about Brooke and Evian, the more people bring up that type of thing, the more topics we have to discuss on the pod.
Yes.
So I think
Yeah,
that's a
true.
good thing,
Yeah,
you know?
true.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty positive about it. But what's your, is it just because it's new and like, what are your reservations about jumping on it?
None. I'm not keeping up with life in
It's just a
general
lot
at the
of-
moment,
yeah.
so I definitely don't need another app to be
Fair.
trying to engage with the people through.
Yeah, I mean, if it replaces Twitter, then that saves me having to.
Yeah,
'Cause it'll
I
take the
sacked
space.
off Twitter a while
Do you think it
ago.
will though? Like
Me
replace
or-
Twitter? Yeah,
I
like both
think
of you.
so.
You think so?
I do, yeah.
Potentially, or it might just split the like political spectrum of like Insta's more like left wing and Twitter's more right wing.
Yeah, I
just something like
Yeah.
that. So it
Which
might-
isn't a bad.
so you know where to go to be racist.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
was going
keep
to
it off
say it's not a
Threads.
bad thing, but
Stay
I
on
didn't
Twitter.
mean it from a left and right wing point of view. But if there's like a place to go for like toxicity and violence,
Yeah.
then go over there.
But you know, I think it's like people always blame Twitter, and it's like it's not Twitter, it's just people.
It's the people. Yeah.
yeah.
Word.
It's just like people with opinions is the like, and all. I mean, not to go. This is not capsule topic really, but like, it's like the media as well, because there's so many like times where I'm like, I see an article from like an actual news source and they're like, oh, Kevin Hart is being cancelled for, and it's like you look and it's the whole article is basically saying people on Twitter said.
Yeah.
And it's like, why is this news that people on Twitter said? Like they're just some dude who works in McDonald's.
Big
like
Sky News as well. Like,
And then they frame it as if like somebody reputable has actually said, you know, that Kevin Hart is being called this, and it's like, by who? Like John from like B&Q. Like it's not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I think that's the problem with Twitter, and it's like, it's just people, isn't it? It's like people with an opinion, and thumbs are like the problem.
Maybe the thing with Threads as well is that like, because it's attached to your Insta, like you can just be found so quickly, and they can like find your. Obviously, you can still have a burner account,
accountability,
which is good.
Like you can still have burner accounts and stuff, but yeah, you can easily just. But
even
click
on
it and
Insta, there's a lot of shit.
I really don't enjoy the burner account thing. Do you guys have burner accounts?
No. Why would you?
Would you say if you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would. I just wouldn't tell you which.
Yo, the comment section in some posts
it's
wild. Oh my days.
But what's the point
I just
of a burner?
know that people do it to like lurk on people's stories that they don't want to see. But it's like, if I'm gonna be in your, if I want to check your story, I'm just gonna freaking check your story.
Facts.
If you go in your story views and do upscript, like that's a you thing.
Yeah,
like, I do it sometimes. Don't get me wrong, but I really don't have an issue with like owning that I've looked at somebody's story. It doesn't matter who they
Also,
are. I find it a very strange phenomenon.
If you see the way I look at stories sometimes, especially the people that I'm following, if I'm not following you and you see me on your story, either I was bored or I actually went to look on your profile and like, skip through your stuff. If I'm following you and I viewed your story, there is a strong chance I didn't view your story. Like I just go,
yeah, how many times it just like,
I just
you know
go
what
through
I mean?
And I'm like, anything that catches my eye is like, anything exciting, no. All right, cool. And it's like, I haven't even, someone's like, oh yeah, you viewed my story. Did you see the I'm like, I don't even remember what that story said because I'm not paying attention. Like,
that's kind of bad, man.
Yeah, I don't use it like that, so I can't.
But it's like, you know, especially when someone has loads of like, for example, you know, when you got the zoo thing, it's like your whole story was like repost. So I'm not going through and looking at what everybody, like, no offense, but like what everybody said. Like I'm skipping through to say, okay, repost, and then maybe in there you've also shared something that I might find interesting.
I mean, that's why I put the repost thing.
I saw that. Yeah,
like,
I appreciate that. Actually.
I mean, I stole that from Stefan, DJ Mistes. Shout out.
Is that a strong segue? To get
that might be a strong into what? Into what would
you lot are jokers.
What would you suggest we segue into?
A fun announcement this week.
Interesting. Was it an artistic announcement?
It was.
Oh, I don't remember. Did I see this one or?
I think you might have a few times. Our sweet friend Chaldon Williams was announced as from September, isn't it?
Yeah, from September
next academic year.
The new
basically
artistic director of ZooNation Youth Company.
Zup. Love.
Do we have questions? Do you have questions?
I'd know all the answers.
You know all the answers? Okay, maybe I'll ask questions. Okay. So, for those who are not in the know, what does that actually mean? So, artistic director obviously sounds fancy. So, what does it mean in terms of what do you get to do? What are you in control of? What are you not in control of with the youth company?
So, I think it's just like my creative input into like their training. If there's any like performances, obviously I'm gonna like choreograph it and like bring in teachers. And I need to have a meeting with Annie to just speak about obviously like what we're planning to do and all of that for the next year or whatever.
So kind of like over the whole course of the year, like where you want to take it.
Yeah, basically. I'm sure they have a plan of like what they want to do. And then obviously it's just my job to deliver the goods.
So they might be like, for example, like they might be like, we want to get the company more like known in this sort of area, and you're like, cool, let me tell you how to get there. Like we need to do these 5 shows, we need to have this type of choreo, that type of thing.
Not sure about what shows we do, but definitely the choreography and the creative input and all of that. I just kind of see it as like if you had a dance group and then the choreographer of a dance group, but then you might have like the producer and the someone just overseeing everything. So
sick. And are you like kind of like teaching them every week as well? Is it really hands-on like that?
Yes, I'm not gonna share the whole logistics of
Yeah,
everything, but because that's none of you lot's business. But
And could I have a look at your bank account? And
how much are you getting paid?
can we look over the contracts live on?
But yeah, pretty much though. Obviously, I need to teach them and share like my style and like my knowledge and stuff.
Right.
But as I said, I bring in teachers to like come in and like do their thing.
So it is like what I'm more asking is like so it's like your hands-on contact with them, not just
100%.
saying
100%.
like this is who's going to teach you every week. Right?
I'd prefer it that way as well for me to be hands-on, because obviously a lot of I've spoken to some of the kids as well, and like they're really excited that I'm going to be teaching and stuff, and like I think some of them wanted to like maybe not carry on or like do other things, but like since they saw that I was gonna be there, they definitely wanted to come back. I mean, I taught there a couple of months ago just to like cover a lesson, and like they seemed like they really liked it and like enjoyed it and stuff. And yeah, it was vibes, and like they're proper dope as well. Like they're mad. Like
a lot of good people have come from Zoo Youth as well.
Yeah,
a lot of good people. That's sick. Congrats.
Yeah, love, bro. Appreciate it.
And what I said to you at the dance awards as well is, but it's like I was saying to him that what I think is cool about him doing it is like, from knowing Chaldon, is like he doesn't do anything that he doesn't care about. Like there's no like politely accepting stuff. Like if he's doing something, it means he really cares about it. So that's why I was happy with the Tribe Ways thing. Like it was cool to see you doing that and like moving into that mentor position. But also with this type of thing, it's like I know that there's no like other reason where you're like, oh, like I don't know, maybe this will look good, so then I can move on to this. It's like if you didn't care about like teaching kids and like making them good dancers, you wouldn't be doing this. So it's cool to know you a bit personally, that like you care about stuff, and to know that you're going to be in that position. It's like, oh cool, they're in good hands,
Appreciate that, bro. Thank you, man.
But yeah, dope. So you start September.
Yeah, starting September.
Sick.
There's auditions on the 2nd of September.
I don't know. Sorry.
Right. I was looking for support, boy. Yeah, I think it's the 2nd of September. I can look as well, but I'm pretty sure that's the date. So yeah, check it out.
What's the age limit? Am I too old?
You are too old. Yeah.
I think the max is 20.
Yeah, 20 or 21, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember the minimum age. But yeah, if you're down, I'm on the train.
You have to be London based.
No, I don't think so. The sessions are on Saturdays in London, but
you can travel.
You can travel, and lots of people that have been in the youth company have done.
Sick.
I can vouch for it being like just a sick place to train in general, and the performance opportunities are like pretty high profile for a youth company as well.
Yeah, word. That's true.
And then like it's not a guarantee, but like the exposure to the company in general, especially for those that might be like late teens, early 20s, like technically adults, really, like you've got a like pretty short connection or 1 degree of separation from the adult company,
and a lot of good like teachers that come in and stuff like that. So like
and I
they
think,
also get to see you.
I mean, it's the only one I've got like close experience with, but it's a professional space. Like it's a really good place to get experience that's like maybe a step above like a crew setting.
And especially if you want to do like hip hop theater or like anything like that, I think the experience is just like, that's like one place to really like get that. I don't think a lot of places actually offer that type of experience, because like it's just a group or a crew and you just do like shows or whatever. So it's a good intro if you're like young and you want to get into that stuff as well, man.
Yeah, that's true. Sick. Yeah, that's dope. That is a
very
good...
I
looking
was
forward to
gassed.
It, man.
I was gassed, and then I was like, he might not even want to do it.
Yo,
and
imagine.
I'm just getting it's 10 to 20 years old.
10 to 20.
And it is the 2nd of September.
Jeez,
but you've got until the
about.
17th of August to register for the audition.
Guys, go and register for the audition.
Yeah, I was very, very gassed because Chaldon's name had been in the mix for a couple of years, but Annie and I were just like, come on. Over the moon.
But you know what I think also is, like, I always say this to people, and I don't know if maybe you can or will say anything about this on your end of that decision, but I think I always say to people is like, in order to get considered for stuff, people need to see you doing the thing already. So like, it's like you've always been a good dancer and you've always been a good teacher, right? But it's like, and there's a lot of people that are good teachers that don't teach, right? So it's like, until we see you, like, let's say teaching open classes, doing tribeways where you're kind of undertaking like a mentorship type of thing and teaching people regularly, and then doing these sort of like leadership roles like with Trap Lord and stuff. And it's like, then it's like, oh, he's doing that sort of thing. So now we can consider him for this type of mentorship teaching role. And it's like, you could have already been, you probably were already good at it before you were doing all those things. But it's almost like there's this sort of, not unwritten rule, but it's like a perception that we get is like when we see you doing it, we're like, oh, cool. Like he'll want to do more things than that. And that's why I always say to people, it's kind of a little tangent, but I always say to people, it's like, if you want to do, like, say you want to be like a choreographer or whatever, you can't just sit at home and be like, I'm a good choreographer and like apply or hope that people will hire you. It's like, you have to start putting work out. And it's like when people see you, like, and this is the part where it's like, you know, the whole conversation about doing work for free and stuff like that. It's like, if the free stuff is, I need to build up a portfolio of things showing that I can choreograph, I'm 100% like going like, can I choreograph a piece for your company? Can I do this? Can we do a concept video? And it's like, you have to get it out there so you can say, look, everyone, I'm doing this type of thing. And then people go, oh, cool, I'll hire you to do that type of thing, you know? It's like it's a kind of dumb example, but like I always say that to people, that it's like, you don't hire someone who wants to be a plumber to be a plumber. It's like, you could look in the phone book and say, who's already a plumber? Like, not someone who's sitting home and go, no, I promise I can fix your sink. It's like, I want to know someone who's already doing it and who did it for my friend, or, you know, and there might be like 10 people in the yellow pages or whatever you use these days, Google. But like, it's like, you know, when Tali's like, oh, this guy just fixed my sink, he was really good, and then she gives me the number, cool, I'm gonna hire him. It's like when you have some point of reference or thing. So I think it shows, like, say this, and if that was part of the consideration with Zoo, I think it shows that it's like how important initiative is, and like you doing your own thing.
Like,
you know?
you should always just try and do something on a smaller scale if you can't, like, you know, do that one thing you want to do. Obviously doing tribeways is a blessing for myself, but like, like you said, bro, like that's obviously shown that like I am capable of like holding space and like doing my thing. So like, I agree, bro, like 100%.
And also like it's even more of a thing sometimes, because it's like, if you had only done like jobs or something, it's like people could say, oh, well, he's just doing that for the money, or he's just getting hired. But it's like, you started and built and promoted tribeways by yourself. It's like, you have to really want it to do what you're doing.
Trust.
You know?
I mean, I was definitely, obviously I was teaching at like, you know, the big studios and all of that. And that kind of pushed me to kind of do my own thing. Cause like, obviously I wasn't really feeling like the vibes and all of that. And I felt like I could give more in like longer time than doing the whole like 1.5 hours and all of that, as you all know. But yeah, like honestly, like I think like doing tribeways was like the best decision I've made, and haven't looked back since. So
I think like it's just different teaching. You can be the best teacher ever, but it doesn't mean that you can teach young people. Like that's the thing. And because I knew that Chaldon had done, is it Shake That? Am I making that up?
Yeah, I was teaching Shake That. Yo, that's crazy.
I forgot about that. So
it was like a group in Sittingbourne.
Where?
It's
like
Kent.
Yeah. I was teaching. They're like a competition crew type thing. I actually got the job through Talent, Dwayne, who's in Dubai now. That was like kind of like, I mean, I've been teaching kids for a while, but that was like my first kind of like, okay, we're doing like competitions. I
just knew that you'd done that and like that you'd like enjoyed it. Because ZooNation didn't really know, or the people that would have been making the decision didn't really know about Chaldon until the artists in 2021. And I think because within that, the 5 participants had dancers to lead. I think that, and not that we were sat there like, and let's scout for the next AD of Zik, but it was just very clear to see people's leadership skills, and also, you know, the being able to articulate what ideas were, and because it was all about process, you just had a first-hand view of how people worked. And again, it was not with anything that has panned out in mind. But when it came time to put people forward, Annie and I were like, I know. Yeah. And thankfully, Kate was keen, which is, it's tricky because Chaldon is new to the company. I was
Kendra, surprised, to be fair. Not gonna lie.
No, it was Big Chris from Flawless the year before. It was Kendra the year before that.
Okay, sick.
And they've all been around the company for a really long, I think it was Bradley before that. So like, these are Zoo people. So it was a bit of a leap of faith, but I'm just similarly to the artists. And then I think the first year we did the artists, Jade Hackett also curated like that. Do you remember the battle that happened in South Bank?
Yeah.
Like, it was quite a big year for Zoo in terms of like,
that was sick actually.
Coming outside of the norm. And I'm just glad that as a company, Zoo is sticking with that. And I think like I was on the catch up call with them all this morning, and like the reception that the announcement got just further confirmed that like it was the right thing to do, and that it gets eyes and interest in the company that might not otherwise have been there. So I just think all round it is a very, 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 very sick thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a different like demographic of people that come
to the audition.
To the auditions,
for sure.
Yeah.
And then that informs the kind of work that will be made. Like I watched the Zoo Youth Company, the show that they just did at Royal Opera House, and like Chris and Rhymes like did an amazing job. So yeah, just super keen to see.
Oh yeah, I saw the tech rehearsal.
Oh,
and
you
like
did,
didn't you? It was sick.
It was good.
And they said they put it together in like the shortest time as well. Like that's so crazy.
Yeah, they're really good kids, and they've got like long form work in mind. It's very like they do 5-minute pieces, but it is about like narrative led work. Like they're just ready for it, and they can also make stuff.
Yeah, I heard they did help with the choreography and stuff. That's cold.
Was good. Yeah, I'm excited.
Sick. Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, that's that wrapped up. No, but yeah, this is really dope. And yeah, definitely go and check out on the Zoo page about the auditions.
Zoo page, ZooNation.co.uk as well, I'm sure.
Cool. And yeah, go and audition if you're under 20.
10 to 20.
20, if you're under 20. That's there's some good dancers who are under, I feel like Evian's still under 20.
No, surely not.
Oh my God.
Is he?
I don't know.
Nah,
I could be making
not.
that up.
Nah, he can't be.
There's no way.
He can't
How
be.
old's Josh?
No, Josh is like 25 or something. I feel like Evian's younger.
Josh ain't 25
Nah, they're like
yet.
Is he not?
I don't know, but like they're
I
similar
don't know how old
ages.
anyone is, to be honest. No, but there's still some really talented dancers who are under 20. Like, that's a good, it's not like youth like 14 and under or something.
And please, anyone that is like 19, 20, don't be put off by the fact that the age range is what that age range is, because
the level's still going to be the same.
Yeah.
Trust me.
It's a professional caliber.
Yeah, it'd be so good if you got someone like Maisie or them.
Yo,
that would be sick. Maisie, go and audition if you want to. Her parents are going to kill me. It's like, we have to drive her down already. Yeah. Also, Maisie, you shouldn't be listening to this podcast. If you are.
Facts.
Too much profanity. What else was I going to say? You went to see The Weeknd.
I did go to see The Weeknd at The Weeknd.
Sophia, The Weeknd.
You went to see Saturday and Sunday?
So dumb. Sophia sent in a request that she wanted to. She said, I hope Tali's going to talk about The Weeknd dancers because I want to know her opinion.
Oh, why? What was hers?
She didn't say. She just said.
What were they saying?
So I know.
Do we know that? Yeah, I was going to say, do we know?
Which is why I.
I'm going to be nice.
Was able to be there. No, I just wouldn't have.
I hope Tali talks about The Weeknd dancers. Want to know her opinion. I just said, yeah, we'll ask her.
So there were 20. First of all, the set was incredible. It's Ez Devlin did it.
She's amazing.
She is. She's doing Free Your Mind, the show that
Free Your Mind.
Ken's doing in Manchester.
I haven't heard about it.
Have you not? Do you remember they did the like launch thing for it, and it was like the Matrix type photos?
What?
We spoke about it on the
pod.
I think so, yeah.
Oh my God.
But Ez Devlin did the the set and the lights, and was incredible. I always wonder how they manage that when it's stadium shows and it's outdoors. Like
She's
harder to
incredible,
get the atmosphere. And
there's just a quick thing on Netflix. If you don't know about Ez Devlin, first of all, check her out. On Netflix, there's a series called Abstract: The Art of Design. One of my favorite. There's 2 seasons. One of my favorite like shows ever. And there's a whole episode on Ez Devlin, and it kind of talks about her and her work. So definitely check that out. It's fucking sick.
There are 28 dancers, and I'd already knew kind of the vibes of it, but I don't shockingly I don't really know what Martha Graham is as a reference. I know the style and stuff, but when someone says, yeah, it's like quite Martha Graham-esque, I'm like, sure.
Okay.
But it was lots of like mapping in the space and like walks down catwalk and in circles and like repeated contemporary-esque motifs. Like there weren't any
moves,
like dance breaks kind of thing.
It was like kind of like moving through
like
the space,
mass movement kind of thing.
Okay, interesting.
Which sick for the dancers. They are literally traveling the world. It was raining, and apparently a dancer may have broken a rib falling down the stairs. So that's a thing. But the work itself is, I don't think it's taxing. Like, I don't think they're coming off stage like, I need an ice bath.
Yeah.
I didn't need the dancing particularly, but it was quite because Charm LaDonna did it, and she does.
Don't know who that is.
She did Kendrick's Glasto performance. She did Dua Lipa's tour. She does Little Baby. No, LA.
Right.
She's. I didn't know this. My friend told me, but because as far as I knew, Charm had kind of come out of the blue, just suddenly like on a par with Paris as one of the main choreographers, but she assisted Fatima, who Busta, Missy, like just that whole era of greatness, and did Dr. Dre's Super Bowl, and also has like contemporary training, so which makes the Kendrick stuff make a lot more sense actually. But it was really reaffirming for me, moving the way that I do, to see something like that on that scale and for an artist like The Weeknd. Like, my choices wouldn't have necessarily been the same, but I did quite enjoy that it wasn't like just stand behind the artist and bang out 8 count after 8 count. Like,
yeah,
I did
I'm bored
appreciate
of that now,
that.
not gonna lie.
He wasn't really involved. Like, I don't know if it was a case of I don't know if, he wasn't at rehearsals, or just like it was a choice that he was just kind of free to roam wherever he was going, but they didn't seem like they were part of the same picture. Like, they'd be walking around the statue and he'd be like, there was no reason why he couldn't have been part of that and not just standing outside of it belting. But his discography is amazing. I can't say, my mum likes his albums, but apart from Blinding Lights, which in 20 years will not have, like, it will age very well, that song. But he did some of his old stuff, like from when I imagine we would have ever been interested, and he sounded great. He was wearing a do-rag throughout, which is a choice, but yeah, had a great time.
Shots to the stylist.
I was just surprised. It didn't strike me as kind of artist that would
after
do that.
Did the Idol, maybe he's changed. Do you watch it?
I need to watch it. I haven't watched it.
No, I haven't seen that either.
It's funny.
But yeah, I loved it, and any opportunity, it's happened before where I've gotten like 3 freebies to something I wouldn't have paid to see, but like, it's just good from a creative standpoint to see shows on that scale, and to turn around and like, my man, House of Balloons, The Weeknd is just packed out London Stadium for like 3 nights. Like, it's really easy to forget. He's got the Guinness World Record for the most monthly streams on Spotify,
That's wild.
Like, he's massive.
Yeah, he is big.
And just the demographic was like, it leaned more white than I might have thought it would, and just like, wow, like, you are mainstream. And he had them, like, everyone was invested in the show. It was wicked. I enjoyed it.
Sick. And Kate Trinada opened?
Kate Trinada opened.
Wearing Saul Nash.
Wearing Saul
yeah,
Nash.
that's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also liked that because I'm sure like 80% of that stadium did not know who he was.
Really?
He could have been any warm-up DJ for sure.
Oh, was he playing his stuff?
Yeah.
But he's got some big stuff.
Nah,
Yeah,
they
but
must
come
have
on
known.
now. Really? Like
Yeah.
Maybe not
Debbie
pop.
and Darren.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe like your average music fan would know him, but maybe not. Yeah,
Like there were loads of Debbie and Darrens.
Yeah.
There were loads of them just like
Yeah, fair
loving
enough.
it. They are not going to
he's
know
not a
who Kate
household
Trinada
name
is.
outside of music lovers yet.
No.
He's
Really?
getting big.
I thought he was like.
like, who
I thought his album like blew like.
He won the Grammy for it. Like it did, but still in like our corner. I don't think he's
Okay,
mainstream
fairs.
still.
Yeah, it's like if I said to my mum who's Kate Trinada, she wouldn't know. But if I said The Weeknd, she'd be like, "Oh, I've heard of him." Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
like I don't think it would be like, "Oh, I've heard of him." It's like Kate Trinada.
Like
I've no
I'm
idea.
sure that more people will now because of his
Yes.
decision to do this. But I also
Yeah.
think it must be quite nice to, like, you've got to be humble to be on Kate Trinada's level and take that gig, and
You know
not
what,
just
though?
block the blessing that it is and what it can do
Yeah.
for you because he is already of a certain stature. But it must also be quite nice to like just be the warm-up guy tonight and it not to be all about
Yeah.
him.
Well, I thought this, but I think maybe the warm up act thing isn't such a like stepped out, because I went to see 50 Cent in London in like when 50 Cent was big, and Fabulous was his opening act when Fabulous was, that was like the time when Fabulous was big, and I was like, this is like two concerts. Why wasn't this advertised?
right,
like, why is he his opening act? And it's
Yes.
like, I was thinking of something else. I forgot what it was. But like, I feel like for the opening act, maybe it's like more than, I mean, if the fees are good. Like, I think it was like one of Drake's first tours. It was like A$AP Rocky and Kendrick were his opening acts. And like some of them have
James Blake
mad.
supported Kendrick when I saw Kendrick here.
So I think it's like, and also the other thing is, I think I forget sometimes like our perception of artists isn't like how the numbers are reflected.
I'm interested in how it works when the billing is a bit more
Using
like
them.
equal.
Yeah.
Because when I worked more commercially, I knew a couple artists that supported and they paid.
What do you mean?
You pay to support.
Really?
Yeah, because you're paying for the platform.
Well, that's one way to make money for the artist.
But you're not. Wait, you're paying
Like
as
for
in,
a small act, like I knew the support act for JLS and he paid to be the support act.
that's wild.
It's just
To
like
me.
it's a marketing investment, isn't it?
Yes, but that to me. What?
It was just the
No, because I was gonna say something about battle. Like that to me feels like paying to be a battle guest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is like
No, because battle guests are more. It's paying to battle. It's paying to battle.
is it that? But like
No,
Paying
not
to do a
battle
showcase.
guests, just the general
Yeah.
entrance of a battle. You are still like the reason why people are paying to
Sure.
Yeah,
come,
true.
but you are paying to battle because
But
you're
that feel-
aware of the platform and
Yeah,
what could
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
Paying to do. Yeah.
But that feels more like an open, but also you're not using my face to advertise. That's the difference, I think. Like if I'm guest or judge, you're using my face to say, come to our battle because
Yeah, but
Luke
then
will be
I
there.
think that doesn't make you the support. I think you guys are the headline act in that case.
Yeah, but it's like the battle thing for me equates to like doing an open mic or something. You know, you're paying to perform, but you're paying for the performance knowing that it's like an open level. It's like when we pay to battle, we might be of a good level, but the reason it's an open thing is because anyone can pay. You could go to a battle and it's like it could be only shit people, right? Because it's just open. But like the point of being a guest is that the guests are of a certain caliber.
Yeah.
So you're saying, by saying guest, you're like, oh, this is the person that's like going to bring in the audience, and this is the
Right.
person whose face is going to be on the thing, and then everyone else, whoever
But that's
comes.
why I would hope that someone like Caterer is being paid to be
Oh,
there
I
because
wouldn't
he
be
has his
surprised.
like my friend sent it to me for us to go just to see him.
I would imagine they're being paid a fee,
but it is a thing where support acts
that's wild.
Pay to tour 5 figures as well.
That is very wild.
And then you've also got to fund you being on the tour,
because I think a lot of them like they take them on tour.
It's mad.
Because I've heard a lot of rappers talk about that, where they bring other rappers on tour. Like I think Mac Miller took Schoolboy Q on tour. People like that, where it's like they want to give each other like exposure and stuff. So they, you know, their management tells them who do you want to take on tour, and they pick someone, you know, and then they pay them. And I guess that's what I've always
hooking
assumed.
up your friends and stuff.
But yeah, that would be wild to pay for that, I think.
What I was gonna say about Keitra is that, like, because he DJs as well, I think that's why, like, it's probably calm for him to just like open up the thing.
It's an
like,
easy setup.
Like he's just gonna play his own tracks, and like you were saying with exposure and stuff, like as long as he's getting paid, then calm.
I went to see a performance with, you know, MED, the one who did Push, the battle track.
Yeah.
He performed in London ages ago, and I went to see him. And part of the reason I went is because it says it said with I don't know if it said warm up act or DJ, but it had Black Milk as his DJ.
Mad.
So I was like, oh, it'd be gas to see the two of them. And then so MED did his set, and then Black Milk came on after to DJ the like after bit. Didn't play a single one of his own tracks. He just DJ'd, and I was like,
but why?
I don't know what I was supposed to expect, but I'm a bit disappointed. Like, it was good.
But why wouldn't you want to play your own tracks?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, I'm here because of your... But I guess maybe he doesn't think everyone knows him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, an MED crowd should know Black Milk. Like, that's a very...
I mean,
MED's
if they don't, then that's... What are you doing?
Yeah, like, how do you know him and not...
Yeah,
it's like, I get not knowing MED, but if you know MED, you probably know Black Milk. I don't know. It's that whole scene. But, yeah, I was very confused. I was like, he's not playing... He's just playing, like, Ludacris and all this. And I was like, these are good songs, but... I'm here for you. But yeah,
maybe they have to pay extra for his tracks or something. I don't know. Like,
maybe
it's like, I don't know.
True.
But then
maybe
he's just gonna play everyone else's tracks. Like, what?
Yeah, but I guess that's the thing. It's like, if my name is that big, you don't just pay me a DJ fee.
Yeah,
you pay me like my thing.
Yeah.
I was talking about this with Lewis actually. Maybe you have an interesting input on this, but like about DJs also, like, I'm talking battles now.
Yeah.
But like battle DJs producing their own tracks so that they have like exclusives and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, have you thought about doing that or?
100%. I mean, I've been defo on trying to make like beats and stuff.
Sick.
I think I asked you one time, like, you know what?
Oh, really?
I can't even remember, but
could be.
Because I know you were making like beats and stuff.
My beat making career was very short.
Or like, what are you using to make beats and stuff? I mean, I've had Logic for time to like edit music soundtracks and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just gonna like dive into that.
Sick.
I defo like shouted like a creator to like help me out.
Because you've been doing those mixes where you like
the blends and like mashups and stuff. And like I'm gonna try and drop some more of those. But definitely, bro, I think that's a flex.
Yeah.
Even just for DJing for like parties and stuff, I think like I want to try and go down like Jael, like, because he's got his own like mixes and flips and stuff. And like he probably just plays them at parties and doesn't even release them. And like I think that's just gassed. So like I'm definitely gonna try and jump on that a bit more.
Yeah. And it's also reverse as well. It's like, if you're a beat maker, I wonder if Creator's gonna get into DJing, because it's
he is, I think he's on it.
Because it's like, I think if you're a beat maker, it's like also part of the way you can monetize your tracks.
100%. I mean, he did a I don't know if you know about the Culture of Hype and Hope. They've got like mixes on SoundCloud. I think he's done one.
Oh, sick. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so check that out on SoundCloud.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because I think that's like one good thing where it's like, when you're being hired as a DJ, it's like you I think we need a bit more of, but I think you and Josh and people like that are bringing that to the scene. But it's like that when we hire you, it sounds like we've hired you. Not like, oh, you're hiring a different
could just
DJ.
Be anyone. Like,
exactly, but they're playing the old battle tracks that we've danced to. So I think it's like, that's what I love about you and Josh, is like you bring like unique shit for us to dance to. But I think even more so if you have your own tracks that you're like no one else can play this because I'm the only one that has it.
That's what I'm on. Trust me, man.
And it's like, I think some people work with beat makers or whatever, but if you make your own tracks, and it's like, I'm not sending this to anyone. The only way you're getting this track is if you hire me as a DJ, which I think is the way to do it. You know, you've got to have your like USP to be hired, I guess.
Because Lewis makes his own like beats
so
and
he
stuff, right?
does like more house stuff because Lewis is like he started off as just like a club DJ. So he does like house and all this type of stuff that he loves. His all that. White boy raves.
Oh my god.
No, it is. But now he's like kind of now doing he wants to push more into the battle stuff. So he's looking into making.
He was DJing at the battle the other day. So,
how did you think he did?
I think he did really well.
Yeah.
Considering like certain things that I'm not going to say, but
yes.
Yeah, I think he did really well.
Okay.
I feel like with all style battles, it would be nice to hear more just like maybe like R&B and like I know people feel a certain type of way about like hip hop tracks and like all style battles, but like I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like you don't have to play like the hip hop beats, but you can still play hip hop songs.
Yeah.
Whether it's like Ludacris or you know like old school hip hop songs that we know. Because it would just be nice to like dance to those as well, like even if it's like party type hip hop songs. I think that would go down really well. But like definitely R&B.
Yeah, you know what the
or
thing
like grime or something like that.
I was thinking, and tell me if you agree, because also I'm like biased because he's my friend, you know, so I'm always like I know more of the insider side stuff. But like I think what I thought was cool is in the All Styles he played a lot of like housey stuff.
Yeah.
Which it's actually not my taste, like the songs that he was playing.
Yeah.
But I did like that. I was like, oh, that's like your stamp that you're gonna put on battles. It's like if that's your kind of thing, and a lot of them were like remixes with this kind of like housey vibe to it. And it's like I think that, like I said, even if it is or isn't my taste, but it's like having that kind of thing of like, oh yeah, it sounded a bit more housey than usual today. It's like that's his stamp, I guess, which will set him apart from other people.
He had some
I guess.
like flips of like, you know, probably like hip hop vocals in like a house track, so like you could still get down to like the vocals and so like
I think he played a couple of his house tracks that he made actually.
Okay, cool.
In there, but yeah, I thought he did good in the hip hop seemed to go off as well with the tracks.
Yeah, that was cool. That was nice.
And it was like you thought generally the hip hop was nice. I was trying to think of what he played actually, but.
Yo, I feel like I did so many rounds that day because I did the 1v1 and the 2v2.
Yeah.
So it's all like a blur, but
true.
Yeah, hip hop was good.
Yeah,
was blessed. Like I don't have any issues with.
Yeah. What did you think of that event in general? That's also on my list of topics.
Good vibes from the jump. Yeah, just the atmosphere and stuff felt really nice. Felt really like supportive and stuff. Like, you know, it was kind of just nice to get out of London a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was just like a lot of kids and stuff as well. But I know it's like a for them kind of thing. Yeah,
because the morning was so we're talking about next gen clash battle that happened this weekend. I did the live stream, which got screwed.
Yeah, I'm
screwed by one
I'm
track.
I'm upset.
10 hours and fucking I bring you flowers.
You were going for 10 hours.
Oh, was that the one that
10? Did you see the meme I put up? I'll show you.
Yeah, I did. It was good.
Yes, I was so happy when Tali replied. But yeah, we streamed for 10 hours the whole day, and one song got the thing taken down.
Oh my days.
That was hilarious. But hopefully we're gonna get it.
Oh yeah, I did see this. Yeah, you're a joker.
Hopefully it's gonna get reinstated because we've had that before. Because basically it's like sometimes it's an automatic. This is so boring for people that don't care about this stuff, but it's like an automatic copyright strike, and then when you submit a dispute, they've got 30 days to actually look like a real person from the company that claimed it has to look at it. So if they look at it and go, oh, it's just a fucking dance battle, and then they say fine, release it, and if they don't look at it within the 30 days, it automatically gets released. So it's only if within the 30 days a real person looks at it and goes, no, we still want to monetize off that. Because also what they can do is like, it's like one of the options now which is good for what YouTube have done is like they can say, yes, we'll allow this to be posted, but we get any monetization from that, which is fine. It's like, I'm not even trying to monetize the stream.
Exactly.
It's like,
we just
take
want
the money.
Footage.
I just want the footage up. So it's only if they look at it and go, even if we got the money, we don't want this online, which is, I think, rare. Like, they would have to think that we're trying to like claim that the song is ours. Or something. If you see people dancing to it, they're going to probably reinstate it, I would hope. So yeah, why was I saying that? Oh, so that's why we're talking about the battle, Next Gen Clash battle. It's our first time ever doing it, which I thought she did a decent job for that. But yeah, it was like
seriously,
never done.
Congrats, Dan.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it was
That's
like
sick.
the morning. I think what I said to her is like, for me, it's one too many categories. One less would have been fine
100%.
because there was under 18 all styles, under 18 light feet. The all styles was top 32 in the morning.
I heard about that. Yeah,
and the light feet I think was top 16. Then they did the over 18 or the all open category hip hop and all style 2v2.
Yeah,
hip hop was under 16, top 16.
Yeah,
and then the 2-on-2 was top 8 or top 16.
I can't remember.
I think maybe.
It might be 16.
Might have been 16.
Yeah.
So like they got, and I think that's good because it's like, I think when you have these top 32s and top 16s, it's way better because more people get to pass through.
But just less categories when you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. I think 4 categories in one day. I mean, they started early, started at like 10:30, the first prelim.
Yeah.
And it only ran over by an hour.
Yeah. Which isn't bad. Yeah.
I've been at events that ran way more over than that. So I think it was good, and I think like we were saying, like for the first event ever, I think it went really well.
Can I ask you a question then?
Yes. Go on.
So obviously when events have like under 18s, and obviously all the kids can jump in on the under 18 thing, and like whether it's all style or hip hop, whatever.
Yeah.
But then obviously when you have like open hip hop, and like all of the kids are gonna jump into that as well. It just makes the whole thing like long. And like obviously like they should be allowed to do whatever they want, but like maybe it's a good idea to just have like under 18 and over 18 just to kind of save everyone. And like even maybe the DJ and like the judge as well.
It just makes
like,
everything longer.
It was given like, I'm not saying the battle was like that, but it was just given like long day UDO type vibe.
Yeah. And I think it's like, it is nice for the kids to feel like they can get involved, but it's also like you were involved, you had your under 18s.
Facts. We can't do the under 18 thing, bro. So,
but I think, what I said to the organizer is like, what I would maybe do is, if there was possibility to have a venue with 2 rooms and run some of the under 18s simultaneously to the other one, or even like you can have a what I think would be a good idea would be to have in general for events, not just this one, is to have like a prelim room and a battle room. Yeah. So it's like while prelims are running.
But then again, if you're depending on the category, like you might want to be doing that.
That's why you have to be smart with it. And it's like, I think that's what, like if you split it up, so like let's say there's under 18 prelim running while the first over 18 battle happens, so there's no crossover. And then you try and guess, like you're like, all right, I'm going to put, like the only way we can do this is to put popping and house at the set, like popping battles and houses.
Something
like,
just
the
completely
crossover
different.
is really low. And even if it is, it's like, all right, well, that's the cost of having a more
facts
quick day, is like you can't do both because they're at the same time. Kind of tough shit.
Deal with it.
Yeah. So I think like something like that, if you could have 2 rooms, have a prelim room and a battle room, and then you just have a DJ that just sits in there and he knows his job is to just spin for prelims the whole day. Battle DJ plays for the battles, and then you split up the judges so that there's one judge in there doing the thing, and then they go across and they never have to judge the same thing, I think that would make, and then you have your own host for the prelim room. I think that would make things a lot quicker.
But then again, it comes down to like the venue, like money as well to pay for like another DJ and another host and all of these things.
And I think that was also the problem with this event is, well, not the problem, but is like a lot of, and this is the thing, because kids are a lot where the money is.
Exactly. Because their parents are gonna be like, yeah, of course.
They bring their parents. Even on the live stream, we got way more people tuning in. Bro, this is crazy. The MSB live stream I thought was sick. Like from a while back, and like within the month, it had gone up from like, it was like 400 views on the day. It had gone up to like 1,000 views, and I was like, oh, that's sick. Like loads of people are tuning in. I turned off the live stream, drove home, which is like an hour. By the time I got home, it was on 1,000 views. I was like, the live stream from this event.
Wow.
So loads of people were tuning. It was crazy.
Sick.
And I think, but also that's like all the parents and all they're sending the link to their auntie. And so I think that's why there's money. And I think it's like, it's a smart way of doing things, I think, because whereas our categories are maybe not the most profitable ones, it's possible for them to happen because all the kids came, but we need to find a way to make it not
there needs
super
a balance,
long.
I mean, they did well with the schedule and the timing and stuff, because like even for me and G-Man to come down, like we didn't have to be there at 10:30.
Right, like, put all the kids stuff in the morning. Yeah, that's smart.
So that was a good one. So
I don't like when they I get why they do it, but like I don't like when they hold all the finals till the very end of the day, so everyone has to stay. And it's like, can I just do my thing and go? You know, because it's like also money wise, it's like once the person's paid to come in, let them go when they want.
There's nothing to be gained by.
They're not paying by the hour. I
mean, the only thing, obviously, from a organizer point of view, like in the video, you don't want it to look like hardly anyone's there and stuff. So I get it, but
but I think
save
that's
us from that.
It's like where it becomes, you know, a bit of a like balance between, is this like a competition or is this like a show thing? Because you can, if it's a show, you need to curate it with less stuff and more, so we want to stay for the whole thing. If you go to like these like big judo competitions or something, not that I've ever been to one, but it's like, it's just loads of people like doing their thing all at once, and there's like 4 people in the audience, but it's like you know, you go and watch, and it's like, this is actually more how WDSF are running their stuff, where it's like you have the 2 prelims at once, and it's more like a sport format, which is obviously
it's more of like the reason why you're there than
it's just
like,
to do the things, and it's less exciting to watch because there's like 4 prelims going on at once, or 4 battles, or you know, whatever, but it's like they do get through the day way quicker.
I guess it's more for the dancers than the audience in that sense, you know. But I'm here for that idea,
I think it's I really think we just need more people taking risks and trying new things with events, because it's like we just keep doing the things the same way they've always been done,
thing all the
and
time.
like most of these things are not
like
set up by anyone who has any expertise. It's just what.
Yo, facts, bro. Facts.
It's just like one day some guy was like, "This is how we're gonna run a dance battle."
Some uncle somewhere was like,
and everyone's just gone, "This is how battles work. Let's do it." And it's like no one's going, "What's the smarter way to run this?"
We need more dancers doing events. Like because they know how it needs to be done. They know how they're gonna feel.
Consulted.
That as well.
But also, this is the problem. Anyone that's been around the battle scene for long doesn't want to have anything to do with running a battle.
I mean, apart from me, I do. But because
you're doing another one.
I want to do another one soon. And like I'm gonna do like a whole I'm not gonna tell you like my idea on the pod before someone tries to steal my idea. But I'll talk to you guys afterwards about it though.
I'll steal it off the capsule.
Imagine the capsule battle. Yo, that's a good idea though. You should do a battle, bro.
I'll tell you something that we've got coming up.
Okay, off the pod. But definitely I feel like more like dancers should be running. I mean, we kind of are. Like I know some of the younger ones are doing like battles in like Stratford like uni and stuff and like all of that. And like crump battles and all of that. So like I think it's good. I feel like we just need to keep going with that.
I think that's the thing, is like for people to not be like, for young people and like dancers to do it, but also to not be like bound by like, I have to do a battle in the way that I've seen battles done. It's like, as long as we can end, like, not even, I don't know, it's like there's nothing that can't be changed in a dance battle. There's nothing like, if you want to do some random like, okay, we're gonna do, it's a hip hop battle but only on like house music. Like do it. Like if you're gonna, all right, everyone's gonna have 17 rounds each, do it. Like whatever the thing is. Like
organisers ask for feedback.
Well, if they want, like some of them are sensitive.
But is that a regular?
Some, like most.
Is that a regular occurrence?
Some of them get feedback on the pod that they don't want and get sensitive about it.
They don't ask. It's not like
I didn't say anything. What are you talking about?
There's not like an email going around after the fact.
There should be.
No.
Yo, Luke's giving out free feedback.
Tali told me where the sunglasses.
Yo, true, you know. It's Tali's
What was I going to say?
It's
Sorry.
time.
They should. The times I've seen people do it is like Rain Crew when they was it Rain Crew? Yeah, Rain Crew and some of the other ones at East London Dance.
Firehouse did they asked me when I think when I was invited for their hip hop weekender thing, they asked for like feedback and stuff, which was great, and I actually gave them some feedback.
I think it's also for when events are funded, I think that feedback
Yeah.
they use
part
for
of
their.
You're right.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the events that I know have got funding, whoever their producer, like Firehouse or
Yeah.
Rain Crew, whoever their producer is, has said
That makes sense, though.
give this out to people to get feedback. So I think it works in terms of applications and stuff, but also I think they should get more feedback.
But it only makes sense to get feedback from the dancers who are experienced in your battle, so you can make it better.
Because like I think it's great and like entrepreneurial spirit to have dancers putting on their own events, but chances are not everyone that would be if the battles that had come before were run well. So it would just be cool if there was a forum for there to be like a conversation about what's working and
Threads.
what isn't, and
Threads.
Use threads.
You know
for
what?
that.
Actually, saying that,
threads. I thought you said threats.
Oh,
Threads. Wow.
We're not that
that's one-
shady. We're not that shady yet.
that's one way to get an event better.
Only threats for the invoices that we need.
Fair.
But,
Oh yeah, true. I started at the moment it's private, but I'm considering doing a public. Do you use Discord?
No.
So it's actually really cool. So I'll show you. But
Yeah,
it's
let me see
an
this.
app, like gamers use it a lot. But it's basically an app where it's like once you join, it's almost like you can have all these different categories. So we can all be in one, but we can, rather than like WhatsApp where you talk to the person, you can talk in the public thing about each thing, about each
that's
topic,
cool, man.
right? So you, like I've got all these different ones. And if you want to be on it, you're welcome to. But I'm trying to like get more people on the private one to like give the
I'm
capsule
down,
like info about stuff that's going on and whatever. But I thought what might be cool, and guys, if you're listening, let me know if you think this is a good idea, and you guys, is like to have a Discord that's public, but like everyone that runs an event or is considering running an event in the UK, like join the Discord, and we can all just talk. Like, is anyone doing an event on September 23rd? Like, or just like, oh guys, I ran this and my I want to use this venue, or does anyone know? And like actually like communicate with each other. Because I think at the moment no one is really communicating and learning.
I was just about to say that we need to communicate a lot more, especially like with the organisers and like events and battles and stuff.
Because the date clashing thing is really annoying, first of all.
It is, but I think you're smashing it with the like calendar, because I definitely did check that like beforehand when I was doing like Tribeways and like even when I was thinking about setting up my next thing, like I've been
I need to update that today, actually. Thanks for reminding me.
So that's a good shout. But definitely, bro. I think that's a good
and
idea.
I think it's just also like, just the communication of like, because it's fine to have two events on the same day. Like for example, Sunny did the Adidas one on the same day as Red Bull. Dance Your Style. However, Dance Your Style is only for top stylers. That was Adidas. Breaking thing, it worked perfectly. No one had a conflict, and it's like if you just have those conversations and understand what's going on, I think it works a lot better. But I think we definitely need to talk more and to like get feedback and learn from. That's the thing, is like, this is what annoys me. And to be honest with you, this is like something I've brought up so many times on the pod, but like, I think in the battle scene, organisers are like the source of almost every problem. Because like, you know what, we like, if we talk about judging, right, and people are like, oh, we need to have better judges.
You're right, bro.
And it's like, but who's asked that
hiring,
judge? It's this person. And it's like, we criticize the judge being like, you have to know what you're talking about, blah blah, but anyone can run an event and they don't get criticized. If we saw some random person judging, we'd be like, why are you judging? Not, hey, random person who's never been in the battle scene, why are you running an event and hiring judges who don't know what they're talking about? Like, or when it's like, they shape so much. It's like, if you look at the way that hip hop is now, right, I think it's changed a little bit in the sense that it's very like explosive and quick, and like there's loads happening, and people I think like rush a lot and stuff. And I think that's a lot of, because in the last, let's say 7-8 years or whatever, because there's been events with so many categories, all the all the categories have had like 30-second rounds, 45-second. When I first started, there was no such thing as 30-second rounds. It was like, well, at Throwdown, there was like no time limits, or at most it was like a 1 minute time limit, right? But because they're trying to pack so much in, the organisers, rounds, like these kids have to train to be able to bang out a 30-second round and win.
Bro, I've done that in training. I've been like, yo, let's train 30-second rounds, because you have to do that.
And it is a reality, and I think it's good to train it, but it's just like, that's the organisers that have changed that. So they're shaping the way that we dance.
You're right.
And there could be some nobody, like They just, you know what I mean? It's just some, was it Debbie and whoever?
Debbie and Darren.
Debbie and Darren from the Weeknd concert could put on a battle. Like, it just happens. So, yeah, I just
You
think
don't know
it's
Kate
like,
Trinata.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're putting on dance battles.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah, how can you not know Kate Trinata? Come on, Debbie.
Come on.
But yeah, anyway, so I
No,
think...
I agree, bro. Because even I think that like the organizers set the tone like for the whole battle. So like for me, if I'm gonna run a battle, I'm basically telling the DJ these are the type of vibes that I want to play. I'm telling the judges this is like the kind of the criteria that I'm looking for, or like just a general like this is what it is, or just make sure everyone's on the same page so there's not any like weird decisions. It might happen anyway, but as an organizer, it's your event. You need to make sure your event's on point.
And some of the organizers are like, they're not I don't know how to say it, but like they'll hire like world famous judges and a world famous DJ, and they're like kind of not really anyone,
right?
Or don't have the confidence to tell them what to do. So then the DJ is like, I'm playing this type of stuff, and they go, oh yeah, anything you want. Or
nah,
like,
bro,
I've seen it happen. Yeah, exactly. We've seen so many times where the judge will be like, this. We talked about this with Fame, but like where the judge will tell the DJ to change what they're playing, and it's like,
Are you mad?
First of all, are you mad? Second of all, it's like the DJ should tell them to fuck off.
Yeah.
Third of all, the event organizer should tell the judge, no, you're an employee. Like, I don't care how famous you are. If you're a judge in an event, you're an employee, and your boss is the event organizer.
Yeah,
so you
exactly.
do what the event organizer says, not what you think how the event should be run.
And if you don't like it, don't take the job.
Exactly. Yeah.
Simple as that.
So, but this is also the thing, is that when event organizers don't put their foot down and be like, no, this is my event, then it just runs riot, and it's kind of run by whoever has the loudest voice in the room.
Unless it's like some mad request and they're actually like going against what's good for the event, then like
but
I get
even
it.
Still, it's like if they were like, oh, we're gonna do something crazy, you know, and I'm judging, I'd push back and I'd be like, you know, usually we do things like this, or this will probably make your event better. But if they said, no, that's how I want to do it, I'd be like, your event.
Exactly.
Like you're gonna pay me, it's your event.
Yeah,
It's not my name that's behind this. I'm just judging. But I just think like a lot of the event organizers like miss a lot of the bullets that go to like the judges, the DJ. It's like, well, who hired them? Like, or who told them? Or did you have a conversation with them or whatever? It's all comes back to, that's why I think it's like a huge responsibility to run an event. Because you're really shaping the way all of this goes.
You just have to know what you're doing and like know every aspect that it needs to be like quality as well.
Yeah. And that I'm looking forward to the Tribe Boys thing. On that.
Bro, it's going to be lit.
Cool. What else was there? The BMAs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Right here.
You were there.
Oh,
First of all, congratulations.
Look at that.
Come, it's right there.
Pride
Shame.
of place.
Come on. Did you do that on purpose? So that it's in
I did that on purpose. I didn't bring it up on purpose.
Right, okay. First.
But yeah, I had to put it there. It's
Just
actually
checking
quite
for typos.
That's a nice.
quite
They
a
got your name
weighty-
on it and everything.
Yeah, man, it's
Come on,
quite-
bro.
It's quite a weighty award as well.
It's good that. Oh, no.
Yeah, so I drank a lot.
Well,
I
you
don't
dropped
know whether that happened before or after I received it.
Okay.
So
That reminds
I
me.
checked in the morning and I was like, did I chip it or was it already chipped? I'm going to take responsibility because I did drink a lot that night. What reminds you?
It's nice, man.
Rhymes won a I think it was a BB, like Black British Theatre Award, and there was
sick.
a typo on the plaque. And I need to
Oh my days.
I need to follow up.
What, like with her name or something?
Yeah.
I feel like that would happen to me or
She's got
something.
two
one day.
N's in Danielle, and that's just never taken into account.
Fairs.
And so
It was a
we're
bit
like,
like
can we get a
SHEL.
plan?
Yeah, yo.
It's just a whole thing
That
to
kills
get
me.
it done. And I think Rhymes was even like, forget about it. I was like, we will not forget about
No,
it.
Yeah,
you
no.
have to. That's
Yeah,
like
facts.
Yeah. So yeah, for those who care, the award was for contribution to the dance community, which is lovely.
Zup, zup, zup.
Plenty more contribution coming. Actually, I was actually like thinking, like I didn't think I was going to win this year, but I was like, I might win next year, because we've got some cool stuff coming. I think with the capsule, and we're hoping to build.
So that means you're just going to win both, yeah? This year, next year, come on.
Well, you never know. I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best. No, but it was a cool event. I do like the idea of awards.
You do, don't you?
Do you think?
We've spoken about it before.
On the pod?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did.
With Jans, I think. I agree with you. Like, you made very good points about it taking us to give it kind of gravitas and meaning. I just struggle to do that at this stage. Like, I get that it does take us being like, oh my gosh, I won this thing, to give it any sense of gravity.
Yeah.
I do struggle
but
with
it's
that.
like, it's not any one person that has to do it. I think it's just a social currency. Like, the more it becomes cool, the more we'll care about it, and then the more we care about it, the more it becomes cool.
With both of the award ceremonies that we've got in the community so far. Well, to be fair, actually, even like the one dance one, because I think Marceau put something on Facebook not too long ago about it. I would just love some transparency about the shortlisting.
Yes.
Like, how are you? You just sat around, just saying, "Well, I liked these 5 videos, and because I liked them, that's now going to dictate an industry-wide best."
Yeah.
Or are you asking industry professionals?
How does the like music awards and stuff, how do they choose? Like the Grammys and all that?
Committees. They have committees.
And they're who?
Like profession, like a industry.
Oh, yeah,
I'm thinking more of the Oscars, actually. Like, they'll send a long list out, and you watch them all, and then the long list becomes the short list, and then that's what comes up. I think Jan asks, for instance, like Jason Torres would have put
about
like,
the
concept video, for instance. Whatever the way is, I think is like fine, because you know it's their event. But I think it would be cool for people to know.
What would be the best way? What would be a way that if you heard it, you're like, okay, I'm satisfied with that nomination, or like that character? Do you know what I mean? What would be the best way to do it? Because I'm not against the idea of ever doing. I think there's space for like a Capsule Awards one day.
I was just about to say you should do. Yeah, I think that would be like one of the best.
If there's a like that's it lends itself. The platform lends itself to some type of awards thing.
Yeah.
But again, it's just like how. Like, my instinct would be either. No, because this. Well, I was going to say event organisers, but we can't do that because some of them don't know what they're doing. So, if that needed to be said,
I thought we were going to be the shady pair today.
Well, you told me to put the sunglasses on.
What do you mean though? Like,
no, but I mean, like, who would be on the panel? So it would, for me, maybe I would look. My instinct would be, okay, let me look at who's. If I'm doing battle awards, let's say, I'm looking at like who over the last year has been the top winningest battle person, because there's no use someone who's good but hasn't been, like, for example, like someone, let's say like Brooke, who I ultimately respect in the popping scene and is, I think, could still smash people.
Everyone. Yeah.
However, how many battles has he been in the UK in the last year? To then, like, there might be people that he doesn't even know who they are. I don't know. Maybe he's watching every video.
Yeah, because like the Oscars, for instance, there's like you have to release the film in a certain amount of in a certain window to be considered. So I guess you have to have battled.
That's what I think. Yeah, to know, or like you have to have battled, but also the people on the panel. I mean,
I think it needs to be like a cross section of
both.
The like, it has to be like people in training. It has to be professionals. Has to be event organisers, producers, DJ. Like a cross section of the entire community. So I think with the Oscars, you've got actors and actresses and producers and writers, probably DOP. Like you've got
who choose who are on the committee.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
It's big work.
Yeah. It's hard.
But if it was battle dancers, wouldn't you just get like the people you would hire to be like a judge? So like obviously on the committee or board or whatever, like you could ask like Brooke or like Kashmir or like Clara or like people who you would actually, for your event, you would ask them to judge the dancers. So like, wouldn't that make more sense to like?
But then what if we go for like, all right, who's battle DJ of the year? It's like, who am I going to get on my panel that's not going to be nominated?
I mean, but like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. But like, you know, I've already won if it's not
judged. Here we go. I wouldn't need a panel.
Yeah, you don't need it.
I was like, I'll just give you my address.
What do you want to have an opinion on it?
You what?
I don't think you have to be one to have an opinion on it.
Maybe
yeah, because it's like
you
could have a DJ who is on the panel, but then they're DJing. So then, even for example, like I just asked you about how you thought Lewis's spinning was. I was at the event the whole day, so I know what he played, but I was filming, so I'm in a different mindset to battle. So it's like you've got to
ask the dancers, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. It's like maybe DJ would you have a different panel for for battle DJ? You have a panel of dancers, or who they most affect.
You're talking about a panel to like determine the winner.
I don't know what I'm talking
about. The nominees.
Yeah, maybe. Nominees. So who nominates the winner? How does that work?
I don't know.
Because also a thing that would help to have transparency about.
I don't know, you know.
Because then it's
Dance Awards, I'm pretty sure Jan doesn't he have like
the
different people?
Voted.
The nominees voted who win.
Yeah, for each other. So like if you're in my category, we're going to vote.
Which I do like, but I just don't think that amounts to the best.
Because like if everyone's friends with one person, they're just going to vote for. But then also
doing an open vote doesn't work either, because then that makes more sense as like most popular.
Yeah, it's a popularity.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I just think best is a bit egg.
Yeah, unless because this is my other thing, right? So it's like, okay, you do, let's say Battle DJ of the Year, we do a panel of like the most, let's say I would go for the most consistent, who have I seen the most at battles in the last year?
Yeah.
Like someone like Kane, or who has been at like every battle. I haven't seen him miss a battle.
Yeah.
He has a valid opinion on who's the best battle DJ, because he's experienced as many as possible, right?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So that's how I would do, or who it's affecting. So it's like, okay, if whatever, right? But then the other end of the spectrum would be, I just choose everyone.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, well then there's no debate. It's like nobody's saying, like if I was to put the Capsule Awards and I said transparently, like I've picked all the nominees and whatever, then you can just say, all right, you're only nominated because I've decided you're nominated. And then there's no like, we know it's not who's the best. It's like, for example, do the best hip hop theatre acts get put on Breaking Convention stage? No, just the people that John Z chooses. It doesn't mean that you're the best or the worst.
Or
it's
the
just
ones that apply, actually.
Yeah, exactly. If you apply and they choose you. So, and they've never made any, Breaking Convention have never said these are only the best.
Yeah.
So it could be like that. You could take an awards that direction where you're like, I'm not saying these are the best, and you don't say best battle DJ. You say Capsule's battle DJ of the year or something. You know what I mean? So it's like you're our choice, but you're not.
Yeah.
We're not saying you're the best. We've just.
Do you think we need them?
That's a good question as well.
What, like awards?
The only reason I would say yes is because there's certain things that I think where it can look good. Like I wonder if we make these more prestigious and stuff, they start to look good on like funding applications.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as well. Like when like it gets more credible, like the actual award, then obviously it's gonna be a good thing. But like it needs to get to that point. Yeah,
exactly. Because even like, you know, for like even visa applications, or like even to get verified on Insta, you have to have like media written about you, right?
Right. Okay.
So like when Jen did her residency for the UK, she had to get like examples of like articles like that were written about her work and stuff, right? And it's like someone actually asked me about it, but it's like I could cover something on the Capsule and people could use that. Now people could start to use that as their actual application for like big visas and stuff like that. And it's like, this is like kind of nothing. It's just something that I started, but you know what I mean? Like, because it's become more reputable and it's become a staple or like a more consistent thing, it counts as media now, or like dance review, or like if I did a review of Psy's show with him, but it's like he thought of me as a reviewer, like the same way as he did the other people. And it's like, I think that will happen with the awards, where you can start to say, oh, I won a British Movement Award in blah, blah, blah. And that's why I, need this visa to stay in the UK, because my work is being recognized and blah, blah, blah. So
that makes sense.
I think in terms of, and it's like, it's even better if we can do that for ourselves, because otherwise what happens is like, we're counting on and I posted a reel about reviewers today, but like, we're counting on these reviewers or these critics or these awards who don't know anything to pick the best.
Yeah.
There was, there's a lot of things that are doing, and people will do it if we don't. That's the other thing. It's like they will do Dancer of the Year. They will do.
Yeah, because Guap Mag did it, didn't they?
Yeah, and it's
like a mixture of kind of influencer type people.
Are you joking? Seriously?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah, I feel like I was nominated for it last year.
Yeah,
I think Chloe is.
Chloe's on it, and
okay. Oh, so like some good people are still.
There's only 5. Patience J, Regina. How do you say that?
Okay.
It's Johnny, Chloe Dean,
I don't know, bro.
Abdurrahman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know 3 of those people. I know Johnny's a like Afro dancer. I think he does. Yeah, I think.
But I mean, Dancer of the Year is such a like a broad.
Yeah,
that's
I've got no idea what the criteria is.
But that's what I mean. Where it's like this, I would need less transparency about because they're not saying best dancer.
What are they saying?
Dancer of the Year. Yeah.
You're just Mag's Dancer of the Year. So it's like it's their Dancer of the Year. So I don't feel offended by not like being on this.
Yeah.
But if it was like best hip hop dancer of the year, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
Who are you to say that?
Yeah.
So this is a bit more like what I think I would do with the Capsule, where it's like the Capsule's dancer of the year. So then it's like it's hard to get offended by that because it's like we just chose who we like, and at the end of the day, none of them are going to be. It's all human opinion, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So it's hard, but you don't think it's. What's your opinions on it and being necessary?
I haven't decided yet.
Undecided.
I think it's such a new thing for us.
Yeah.
That I think your arguments stand and are great ones. It just, I guess, remains to be seen if we'll get there.
I think, to be honest, my also thought is it needs to be a bit more like, I think so from being at the BMA events.
I thought that was rain.
No, the show. From being at the BMA things, like they do a good job of like trying to make it glamorous and stuff. Like they tell everyone to dress
which is
up,
lovely,
and
which is very.
They give you a glass of prosecco when you walk in for free and all that, and then it was nice. I just think that's the element that they need to keep working on. I think they've got the right idea of like trying to make it something with gravitas,
like a formal kind of.
Yeah, or formal.
I think
or not
what
formal,
it takes is the community to care about it.
Yes,
like we collectively need to say this is the award show that's like the thing. Like,
but I think that will happen quicker if the event itself is something that we really want to go to.
Right.
Whereas I feel like the awards were cool, but no one. Well, I don't know, because I'm in a slightly different part of the scene. So I'm like, I didn't know a lot of the acts that were performing and stuff. So maybe it's like something to do with what they do with, because it's like, if you think about like the BET Awards, like regardless of who wins, the awards show looks sick.
Yeah, true.
Like the performances are sick.
Yeah.
Like the night looks sick. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Regardless of even who wins, and then it's like, oh, I got a BET award, and I'm like, oh, cool, I saw Kendrick perform there, and it's like, it's a thing.
I didn't see any other categories actually, apart from.
Do you want to have a look?
Yours. Like I don't know who was nominated or who.
Oh yeah, there's the other thing that we were going to talk about.
We don't have to go all into it. I was just going to pull it up whilst you were chatting. But no, I think any initiative that like brings the community together, I'm very much here for.
Maybe there needs to be some sort of like incentive that comes with the award, whether you get like funding to do something or you get some sort of like, I don't know what it
even
is,
just a
like
cash prize or something.
Yeah, like you know what I mean, like some sort of thing that comes with the award. So it means like, okay, cool, I've got this award, and you know,
I wonder if like the BMAs or anything is funded, because I feel like I don't know much about that side of things. That's more like Jen would know, but like I feel like that's something that would be a sick thing to get funded. Imagine being like, I want 30 grand because I'm going to put on an event where we do this and we give cash prizes. Like even like, for example, it's like, all right, everyone that we nominated, we're going to just pay them to be in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like stuff like that, rather than just like hoping and being like, you know, please come.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're paid to be in the room, or like, you know, everyone that's nominated to even perform and get paid to, so it's like you got 5 nominees who are all best hip hop dancer. Like we're gonna pay you to come and do a little showcase, and then whoever wins or whatever. Like I don't know, something like that, where I feel like it should be a strong thing to
it will
get
bring
funded.
more vibes to the like actual award show as well, instead of it just being like, okay, we're just here to collect and go home. Or
unless you fit the awards into another event that's already good. Like say for example, if I did the Capsule Awards, but the actual Capsule Awards were given out at UK Champs, or
they changed the categories this year.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure last year they had
year, right?
more like best female, best male, and all that. Wait, let me see if I'm talking nonsense. Oh, I am talking nonsense. I like their categories. If I have to compare
for the audience?
We've got videographer for dance content, which Joe won. Contribution to the dance community, which you won. Contribution to the dance industry, which dancers career development
distinction as well.
won. Concept video spotlight, British music video, choreography for a theatre show, Tanisha Bonner Scholarship Award, outstanding performance, up and coming choreographer, and the Icon Award. Like I like those.
Yeah, they're nice. Jungle reposted that they won the.
Did they?
Yeah, they reposted and they said congrats to like the choreographers and everything and the dancers.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's sick.
They were guessed that they won.
I mean, they're just very sick with the whole dancer spotlight thing. Anyway, no, I like those categories. They're like, it doesn't feel so best and favorite ish.
Yeah, I think
it's more just like an uplifting of certain people and organizations, which I do enjoy.
Yeah, I think best needs to go. I think best is the problem.
I hear you. Yeah.
Unless there's a real,
like, there is no best in theirs, which I like.
Yeah, I think unless there's some real vote that encompasses a lot of stuff, or it's like it's hard to, even with battles, it's hard. Like even when someone wins a battle, they weren't the best dancer in the room.
Yeah,
that's who the judge happened to prefer, and I could disagree, and it happens every time I'm at a battle that I disagree with a decision or something. Mm-hmm. So we need that, because a lot of us go, all right, well, we get that this is that, like even on Sunday it was like, all right, that's Evian's opinion of who won. Like I don't have to go, what, like that person's not better than that person. I just go, well, oh, that's who he judged. Well, if I judged, I would have chosen someone different, but that's fine, So I think like if we get rid of best, it means it's like who, like,
at that time,
that's
or
who
in
they,
that period of time.
Yeah, that's who they awarded. Like if you, the way they phrase it is like, I got an award for contribution to the dance community, not I contributed the most. Which isn't true. It's just like we've chosen to recognize you out of the 5 nominees, which is like, okay, that's a bit easier to swallow, I think. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, I like it.
The other thing we were talking about on Threads, funnily enough, is the being old in the dance scene.
Oh yeah.
Because you wrote something about that, didn't you, Chaldon?
Yeah, just like
not being old, but
not being old, but like shout out to my gen for just like
the
people who are still about, because dying breed and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. And what I said to that, which we said we talk about, is like, I think the reason there's not that many of like the older dancers, especially in the battle scene, is like that I think the scene doesn't really, the way it's set up doesn't really cater to like older dancers. Is that once you get to a certain age, if you don't do what Sheldon's doing or what I'm doing, where you become in like a mentorship position or a leader role, or if you look at like people who are older in the scene, like Clara, it's like they're all mentors or running something. Like I'm so involved in the battle scene now, but only because of the capsule. Like,
right.
I don't know that I'd have the urge to go to all these events if it wasn't. Even when I'm not doing stuff, I still want to go to keep up with what's going on and see who's good. But the idea of going every weekend to do 30-second rounds for these things is not top of my priority list, But yeah, I think it's like, I wonder if there's a way, something that we're missing in terms of like, how could we cater to the older generations that is still part of the battle scene, but it's like, all right, this is like an old people's event, like I know like skateboarding and stuff, and even breaking, they do like dirty 30s categories and stuff, and like the nights where it's like, especially even stuff like drinking and partying, it's like like that event that we were at, it's like there was a lot of kids, like you said. So it's like, even if like we didn't have really an after party because there wasn't time, but like if there was an after party, my incentive to get fucking wasted and talk to girls is 0, because it's like there's kids everywhere, you know. So it's like I'm not trying to get messy with like someone that might hire me to come and teach, It's like this is a problem with like like if you're at UDOs and stuff, it's like you're not partying like you would party. But when we used to go JoJo's or Throwdown or whatever, it's like a safe environment.
But they were like club of it, like venues, so like you had to be of a certain age to obviously get in. Like I remember being younger and not being able to go to like JoJo's or like Storm or like all of those ones. Like,
but then when you do get in, you're safe. It's weird to talk about safe space for older people. Usually we talk about safe space for kids.
You're
but it's
right.
like we do need a safe space for older people, because it's like sometimes I just want to fucking get drunk and swear and be loud. Do you know what I mean? And not have to look around and go, oh, there's a fucking kid, sorry.
Or like even the music as well, not having to, as a DJ, having to play like clean music sometimes is like, that's a chore, man. Like, I know obviously you should be prepared and all of that stuff, but
I've thought about it for classes for sure. Like I've thought that there's definitely a market for like an intensive that is just like classes, but for like 30 plus, because I wrote a post a couple months ago of me, just Dana Wilson from LA, she did it. I think she'd taken, was it Tobias's? Yeah, it was Tobias's class, and she just wrote like a think piece about being her age and in a class at Millennium.
Oh, maybe I saw that.
And then I did the same after taking David's class, and so many people from my generation that don't take class now, just like, you've summed it up perfectly. Or like,
what was the gist of it?
Just how strange it is to walk into a space where like everyone's like going for it just at the beginning of their kind of trajectory, and trying to make this thing that's been your life for 15-20 years their life, and like the hustle and intensity that puts in a room is great, but no one really takes any notice of what the hustle and intensity is for someone of my age, which is just like, what can my body do now? Like, the moves that are around now are not the moves that this body was like built on. Like the foundation that my like movement set is built on is not what's like, does it even fit? Like, and I'm just dipping in and out of this world that used to be like my everything, and like that takes emotional and like mental processing. But sure, put me in your group just because I'm in the room. Like, just pull me out for a solo just because, like, sure, while I'm doing all that. So it was just about making space for all of that. And I can't even imagine what it's like in the battle space, because I feel like...
Very similar, I think.
Yeah, I think if you're someone that won loads or had a high profile when you were younger, I guess the pressure's there and the expectations there that if you're stepping into a battle space, that's going to be maintained, and that's a shit load of pressure. And
the styles change, and the way everybody does things is different. Like, hip hop now is way more like athletic, and like there's some really cool fucking tricks. I mean, even you've got a few now that like I've seen you develop because of like the way that the style is now, right? And it's like, you already had stuff, you know, GWI days, you were flipping and stuff. But like, some of the stuff that you work into your hip hop now is like, I don't think you would have even tried to work that into your hip hop in like 2009 or something. There wasn't really that many people doing that type of stuff.
I think me personally, I think it's a bit different because like I think of like the way I see hip hop and like the tricks or whatever, I see that from like breaking. So like I'm trying to like, you know, go back to like the way breakers kind of like incorporate obviously the tricks and stuff into their movement, but still dance with it and stuff. So like, I'm not trying to like bang a back talking my round, obviously.
But I think it's like because there's more of that now. In the style, it's like anyone that's a bit older and doesn't really have that sort of athleticism feels like they could feel like, oh, I don't know, like how I can keep up or blah blah blah. And it's like you're kind of forced to move, which you should in a cultural type of thing be forced to kind of move with the times. But it would also maybe be nice to like, this is what I think about the categories thing, and you know what I was saying about event organizers kind of doing these things, where it's like I would love to do an event where there's like, this is kind of, I'll give you a little tip. You can have this idea for free. No, but like do like, let's say a hip hop battle, right? And usually we say hip hop category, hip hop 1-on-1, blah blah blah.
I think you're going to touch into what I'm trying to do. But go on. But like
give it to them. I would do a hip hop event, right? And it's about the style of hip hop, but I would do loads of categories in one event that's all hip hop. So even if you do hip hop 1-on-1, hip hop 2-on-2, whatever, and keep it all hip hop. But then even I would do hip hop like boom bap and then hip hop
foundations, vocabulary, and then have something else like.
Well, that's more like this about the style. I think I would make it more about the music. So do you know about Jack of all trades?
Yeah. No.
In Canada.
Rings a bell.
Yeah,
but
well, they do it for popping, where they do like the categories, like waving, tutting.
Casey and all that.
Yeah. So that's like, I think, more style based. I think I would do it by music. It's like dance how you want.
Mine was gonna
but this category is going to be boom bap. This category is going to be like charts hip hop. So like Drake, Cardi B, whatever. Like you're dancing to that. This one's going to be like experimental hip hop. So it's all Flying Lotus and that type of shit. So then
that's
you know what you're
there for that.
You know what I mean? So you know what you're, and it's like I can do my dance however I want, but I know if I'm entering the experimental hip hop, I'm going for that type of thing.
So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm definitely like thinking hip hop, but like separating the aspects of hip hop where it's like foundation or like techers and like the music as well, you know, old school, and like now you can play like, you know, the beats and stuff, and like you know what you're getting into, like you were saying. I think that's more interesting and like more fun as well than doing like the same. Definitely,
and it gives you a chance to like go for what you're like. I got through in Jack of all trades when they did it in the UK, and I got through the first round, I think, but like with all the poppers, and I was just doing hip hop, but because I happened to specialize in like tuts, lines, waving, so even if I'm doing hip hop, I'm still doing those things. So I think it allows you to go into the things that you want to do.
Because I think with the categories as well, like although yes, it's a hip hop battle, like for the category which I want, which is like techers and stuff, I want to see like poppers and like you can be a house dancer and have techers, you can be a breaker and like crump as well, you know.
It makes me think actually more of like the ballroom scene. So like, you know, when you go there and they have different categories, and it might even be like 4 people that enter one of the categories, but it doesn't matter because you've got like, they have a shitload of categories, and it might be, let's say, 25 people that enter the event, but they double up and triple up and do different categories. And it's like, I think that would be sick. Where
that
it's
would be more fun to do as well. Like, and you, as a hip hop dancer, you get to dance more, especially if you don't get through the prelims like instantly. You might have more of a chance to get through something else. As well. So like,
exactly. And I think the more you split it up, the more you allow people to feel a part of it.
You know? Facts. And we need to. Sorry to go off topic, but we need to bring back like, we need more 2v2s. We need more like 3v3s. We need more like, I know there's hardly any like crews in the UK as well, but we definitely need more like crew battles.
Well, UPG are bringing that back a little bit.
I'm down for that, man. We need more like.
But I think this is the never-ending kind of circle where it's like with like people were talking about house not being at events, or locking not being at events. And it's like, I think we need the thing to happen first, and then it will get added to events. You know what I mean? If we know that there's a lot of people that are like working in pairs, like I would be super confident to do a hip hop 2-on-2 now, because I think there's a lot of hip hop dancers and a lot of people that would pair up and like support each other and blah blah blah, right? Crews less so, but it's like the first thing, if I'm an event organizer and I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to do a crew battle in All Styles or whatever, first thing I do is like, what crews are there? And then I start to name them, and I'm like, right, so there's UPG, there's like a Firehouse still doing stuff, are they like, and I'm starting to name as many crews, and if I can't think of them, I'm not going to put it in my category. Put the category in my event. So I think it's like where we need like people to like push what they're doing first, and then it will get started. You know, it's like with the house community and stuff, it's like there's less house battles happening, but it's like you need to be out there showing like there's house dancers that exist, like there's lockers that exist that can freestyle and stuff like that. And then it's like, oh, okay, damn, there's loads of locking videos coming out. There's loads of people freestyle. There's like a locking jam that people meet up and do locking every week. And if we know about that and we see it marketed, then we might start adding it to the categories, you know?
Maybe it's a good thing to like do maybe invites, like especially for like crews. I think if I did a crew battle, I would just do like an invited crew type thing. Especially in the UK, because there's not
many crews.
And
it's also consistency. If you know, it's like with Just Taboo, when it was every year, people like, when I first started dancing, right, it was just a thing to be like, okay, I'm a freestyler, but who's your partner? It was like everybody had a partner, and it was like,
you'll make a crew if there's crew battles all the time.
Exactly. You'll know every year there's a crew battle and it's big stakes, even if it's not like money, it's just like, you know, to say that you're the best crew that year. If you know it's every year for the last 10 years, you're starting a crew, you know, and you're joining a crew if you don't have one. So I think it's like the consistency of the events as well. Frankie replied to your thing. Did you see it?
Oh, no.
He said, I said...
Who's saying?
your
swear.
So your initial one was shout out all the dancers of my generation that are still out here doing bits. We're a dying breed, low key. There isn't a lot of us from back in the day that are still active in the scene. Respect. I said, the scene doesn't really cater to an older demographic, in my opinion. Hard to engage after a while unless you transition into a mentorship leader type role. We need more events, jams, parties aimed at an older audience, I reckon. Basically everything we've just said. And then Frankie just replied saying, an oversaturation of dance events focusing only on the same driven goals also breeds an only type of dancer, which fuels a lot of the older gens to dip out because it doesn't inspire them. Event battle dancing is at an all-time high, I think he means, which feels like it saturates the value of winning. But personally, knowing how to dance is limited because of lack of jams, parties that focus on social elements and non-materialistic rewards. Bring back Funk Off, bring back the Bowery, bring back JoJo's, I say.
Like, we don't have dancer parties now. Well, no, we don't. I was going to say Nava, but that's like informally, it's not. Yeah. It's not somewhere to go and like.
Yeah, I wouldn't class that as a dancer
it's
thing.
Just
no.
Where
it's an everything
go.
thing.
Yeah. Interesting.
I have something to tell you guys off the pod, but I agree. I think there's what we're missing is like we have parties like, is it Nava?
Oh,
everyone keeps saying something.
You lot have this conversation before? I've watched the pod where you lot are
very
just
possibly.
like,
I've had this conversation with like 10 different people.
I think it's Nava, no?
Maybe Soz.
No, but like I say Nava, and then someone goes, "Isn't it Nava?" And I'm like, "Well, now I'm back to." Anyway.
I think you might be right. I'm hearing Stefan's voice.
Nava.
It is Nava.
Well, so
don't
we have.
cuss me out, Stefan.
Yeah, he's like, no, it's not.
Trust.
It's like we have stuff like that where it's like people, like that is the party element of hip hop culture or whatever, right? Cool. But then we have the other end of the spectrum is like hiring pirate and like going and sweating out and doing rounds like in ciphers. And it's like we need the middle.
Yeah,
which is like, I'm not only here to just do rounds and go home.
Yeah.
I'm not only here to look good and party. I want to like party but also sweat.
Yeah.
It's like that's the have a space to cipher without people being like, what the fuck is this? Which is like, what JoJo's used to be for us.
Is a thing.
I think Red Bull venue would be perfect for that. Like, I think like PDK did a jam one time, and
I missed
that
it.
DJ
It was
that,
good,
and
right?
that was like literally like dancer party. It was
you
like
want to
free
get
drinks.
drunk and cipher.
Yeah,
it's like
obviously I was dropping like beats you could like train to as
I
well.
was obviously dropping like fire, so like.
Well, you're not wrong, but But yeah, I think that kind of setup is like perfect for that. But like,
like a mix of party tracks and battle tracks. Like, you can get down to it, but it's also still fun to listen to. Yeah.
It's also a thing of like, when I started dancing, I wouldn't have thought that I'd feel so good in my body at this age. Like I thought that mid-20s was like gonna be like a peak. And I don't think industry and community wise that as much as young people will look at people from my generation and like think of us highly, I don't think we're thought of as being in our peak. And mobility wise, that may be true. It's not always like, some people our age doing crazy shit, but it would help if the needle like was more realistic as to what age group and demographic are even the strongest around as far as for battles, because I think if the older generation felt like they were seen as the best and just as capable of taking down a cane, then they might hang around for a bit longer. But it's just seen as a young person's game, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think for me though, it's more style wise than than move. Look, because I think it's not that people don't see them as the best, but they just see what they're doing as not having aged well. Yeah, and there's people that will, like, for example, I think hip hop, tell me if you disagree, but I feel like hip hop is more of a younger person's, like the style and the way of moving is more the younger generation.
Like what the trend, like the trends, the form is based on is what the younger people would do.
I think so. Whereas I think popping is an older, like.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
If we look at the world scene, like the best hip hop dancers in the world are young as fuck, right? Even if you think of like people like Evian or any of those guys, like that whole generation are really young, minus your like Joseph Goes and people like that, but the majority are young. Poppin', the best in the world are old.
Right.
Like if you look at like the people that we rate as the best, like MT Pop is like 28.
Yeah.
And he's still.
Sorry, is that old?
No, but as in he's the youngest.
Yeah.
He's like a young generation or like a new generation popper, I would say. But he's in his late 20s, whereas like anyone
that's considered old in the battle scene.
What I'm trying to say is
older.
Is it?
A lot of the hip hop dancers who are the best in the world are like 18.
Right. Okay.
25 and younger.
And if we're saying MT Pop is considered young.
Right. Yeah.
But he's 28, which is way older than what's considered young in hip hop.
Yeah, got it.
And then I guess like, I don't know about other styles, but like, let's say breaking is like a lot of the good people, like the people that qualified for like India is like 16. Like,
I mean, breaking's different because like as you get older,
true.
like his peak.
So I think it depends on style wise where you see people.
For me personally, with hip hop, I think it's just like what you care about. So like for me, the best dancers in hip hop are the older ones, like some of the older ones,
agreed.
like Joseph Go, like he's like crazy. And even when you look at like Link and stuff like that, like he's still smashing it, like, you know. But I get what you mean with like, it's a young person's game, but I just think it's like what society, what the community, I guess, like seems as like, determines what is the best.
And also how you get, this is why I was saying about like, we need more events that cater to the older thing. Cause do you know Nikhil Udat?
Yeah.
Have you seen his event? We talked about it on the pod.
So I was going to talk to you afterwards about like obviously what he's doing, but like remember Choreo Masters?
Yeah, that's his thing.
So like I think stuff like Choreo Masters is what we need to bring, like not bring back because obviously that's his thing, but like we need more stuff like that where it's like an event that's like kind of like a battle, but like it's kind of like artsy and like, you know, it's more creative,
like high concept.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm actually considering, if I'm free, I'm going to go to Paris for his event in January. But like what he does is it's a normal battle, whatever, and then from the top, I think the top 8 or the top 4 is 5 rounds each, no time limit. The finals is 8 rounds each,
bro. I want to do that.
Limit. And for me, but this is like your response because we're the same age. Is I want to do that because I think we're artistic. The idea of being given. Like the finals from last year the video's 40 minutes long for just the finals, and it's a one-on-one. So it's like to be given 40 minutes to exchange with someone is like, I'm like, you're gonna see in 40 minutes how good I am or I'm not good. Like, whereas I feel like a lot of the younger kids will be like, oh, that's long. What do I just give me 2 rounds?
40 minutes.
40. 8 rounds. They did 4 rounds. Like, so let's say me and you are battling. You go first for 4 rounds. Yeah. We take a break. And it's almost like we switch ends, and then I go first for 4 rounds.
I've seen,
And there's no time, so you could do a 3-minute round, and then I could do a 3-minute round, and we go. But it's like, by the end of it, it's like you're really like digging deep to like create stuff, and you're listening to the music, and there's no rush to like.
But that's
bang out all your stuff.
Well, for me, that's like proper training. Like that's.
But also, I think that's what I think that type of event caters to older people. Yeah. Because we want more time and we're maybe deeper in our artistry than
and
when
you can take your time as well. You don't need to rush and do all your tricks and blah, blah at the beginning.
Definitely why I was like, battling's not for me.
It's too quick.
It's too quick for me. Yeah. Like I need
time
a
to
song.
build it. Yeah, trust.
And I need the whole thing.
It changes also like, it changes the definition of best because I think like, and I'm not talking about, you know, top level like Kane and Carl and people like that, but I think there's some of these kids who are sick who would smoke my lights out in a 1 round, in a 1 round 45-second battle. But give me 8 rounds against you, and now we're going to see how much you're repeating, how much like I can do 3 rounds of waving without repeating. And it's like these skills aren't really valued in
the experience, I think. Like
the experience, like delving into the music, creating different feelings, which we, and especially with our kind of choreographic experience, we're maybe more tuned into. But I think you don't get to
not really
forward a lot of the skills in, even, you know, when you did experimental and stuff. It's like, I think, I'll say this for you because I don't know that you'll want to say this, but like I think some of the things where you entered and like other people won, where they just did big like funny things or like threw themselves in the crowd or whatever. It's like, all right, cool, in 30 seconds that got the biggest reaction, and Tali taking her time and like placing the hands doesn't get as much in 30 seconds. However, again, 8 rounds, no time limit, a load of different songs. I think there's a whole depth of dance that you're going to start to see, and it's like you need time. That's why theater is an hour-long piece. They don't do like we talk about showcases that are like 5 minutes, and then we talk about an hour-long theater piece, and there's always a lot more depth in the hour-long theater pieces because you need time to flesh out the ideas.
That's crazy. You know, we could freestyle a 5-minute showcase real quick.
For sure, yeah.
Like, you know,
and
trying
still
to
make
fit
it decent.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why I love theatre so much. Like you get time to just space everything out and just take your time.
Yeah, for me, that's one aspect that would really change the demographic, because I think a lot of these kids wouldn't come to. I mean, guys, if you're listening, tell us if you disagree. But I think a lot of these like under 25 kids wouldn't bother coming to like an 8-round. You know what I mean? But it's like I would. I'm considering going to Paris for it. You know?
Yeah.
Like I would love to just even watch.
Or it
that.
might be the other way around. They might actually want that.
Yeah,
you know?
true.
Like I feel like some of them probably do.
Yeah.
Because like to train so much over the years to just fit in like 30-second prelim is wild, bro.
Yeah. That's what I don't like, especially traveling, man. It's like, you know, when you travel to like another country,
rough.
book
to
a
do
hotel,
30 seconds.
bruv.
Yeah, it's rough.
And this is like my one and only criticism of summer dance is like, not only am I traveling all the way to your country to do 30 seconds, I have to do it with someone else.
30 seconds?
No, but it's like not long.
Right.
But it's like I have to do it with somebody else dancing next to me at the same time.
I think that's crazy as well.
Like that for me, that's the one thing I would
what if you're
change.
dancing next to like Batala or something like that?
Exactly. It's like your one moment that you paid for. All I paid for was to come and do a prelim. I know I'm not getting through. I came all the way here just to do my prelim and get my footage.
Facts.
And everyone's cheering for fucking Alex the Cage. Do you know what I mean?
And like you're dancing
it because I'm dancing.
Or you think they're cheering for you and you're just like, oh.
Bro, that hurts my heart so much.
You watch it back and you're just like, oh.
That wasn't me. Bro, I've seen that in a few battles and stuff where like somebody does a trick and then somebody else does something at the same time.
Yeah.
And because I'm doing the trick, it happens a lot in breaking. It's like I'm doing something, you copy me or make fun of me.
Yeah.
And because I didn't see it, I think everyone's cheering for me, but they're cheering for the fact that
painful. That's painful.
That hurts my heart. But yeah, I think the parties thing, that Funk Off. So for people that don't know, there was an event called Funk Off that was run at Arc Bar in Angel, which is right around the corner from where Breaking Convention is, and it was every month. I can't remember what. Like I think it's like the last Friday of every month or whatever. And it was basically just a small jam where it was like they played funk music and like the whackers, the poppers, the lockers, like everyone would come down, and it was just like. There was a bar, you could sit and have a drink. If you wanted to catch up with people, you could, or you could just go there in tracksuit bottoms and cypher for like 4 hours straight. It was like a real like social thing. And it was, like I said, it was all funk music. There was no battle tracks or anything. It was just funk music. So
that reminds me, because I did shout Steph about it and then just kind of fell off, just too much going on. But to do a collab, like Sweet Spot Sundays collab with Nava, I think, what was it, Soft Sessions or something, like where it is a DJ thing and it is in a club setting, but it is about training. I forgot that I had that idea.
I think more things like that are needed.
That sounds sick.
Yeah, I think so. And especially because it's not for like battle training.
Yeah, 100%.
Like just the vibes would be a
it's just like you can dance without feeling like everyone's going to look at you like you're showing off or something. It's like, I just want to go and dance in a kind of dance environment.
Yeah, because I know what it's like to be out just as a human being and then it just get like cypherlicious or like
Cypherlicious is
or just
the name
like
of a new battle.
Just banging out routines on the side, and I'm like, guys, not tonight. So there is it is needed. We do need it.
I think to go back to like, you know, being old in the dance scene or whatever, and like not being like catered to like the older generation. I think it's like like I said on the third thing, like obviously the priorities is I think one of the biggest things, like obviously older people have like bills to pay and like families and like just other priorities, I guess. Maybe like the incentive to do the battles, like longer rounds, like obviously the cash prizes would be better, like obviously more money. But yeah, I think those are the things that kind of like or even turn us away a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, even like, you know, Marceau did Create in Birmingham.
Oh yeah.
And last year, because it was part of Birmingham International Dance Festival, like everyone that they had like invited people, and then a couple people that one did an online prelim, one was qualified on the day. Everyone that was in the top 8 got paid. And then I think the winner got a prize money. I'm like, that's a surefire way to bring more people in.
Yeah, that's it.
Because it's like, if you can get funding, and you know, again, this goes back to me complaining about organisers, but like I know some people get big funds, right, to do these events, and what they spend it on is getting the most famous judge from Japan, flying them in and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, cool. Like, that was fine back when we had 3 good dancers in the whole of the UK. Now we have world level people.
Exactly.
Just, you throw a stone and you can hit someone that's a world level dancer, you know? So get them to judge, save some money, like get someone from London.
Have people here,
and then spend that money on paying the dancers, or even, you know, like paying first, second, third place get a prize or something. If you're not going to pay the thing, those sort of incentives to put the money in the right places or whatever.
It makes more people want to come to the event as well.
Feed
if you know,
everyone, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah. All that type of thing. Like if you're, as soon as you get through to the top 8, I mean, they do this in like big battles. Like when we won Euro Battle UK many a year ago when I was young, and we got flown to Portugal to do the world finals, and it's like we got our fucking ass kicked the first round by Ben and Dedson.
Imagine, bro,
that's a heavy first battle, bro.
Yeah, for real. That's mad.
But as soon as we got there, so obviously we have our hotel and stuff. You go to the event, you get free food, like you have a little space where you can put all your stuff. You get treated nicely, and it's like I felt like, bro, I got destroyed the first round. That was a cool experience, but it's like I loved the trip. I felt looked after because I was like, oh fuck, I'm someone here. I'm valuable to this event, and I think as soon as, even if it's not that, like as soon as you pass through into the top 8 of an event, you are the event.
Yeah, you're part of the event.
So you should be treated nicely, you know. And I get why, you know, like the battle on Sunday is a very local. Like,
it's
those sort of events will always be like that. But when you're getting big money funding and stuff, you shouldn't be like I shouldn't be worrying about if my bag is going to get stolen because I've left it in the audience because I've got no green room. If I'm battling, give me a green room. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. It's just like those little things. Give me a food voucher. Give me a bottle of water on stage. Yeah, just these things is like putting the money a little bit in the right places, and I think you'll get a really different demographic of people. Also, I said this ages ago, and I think like battlers had before this sort of like ego of like, oh, we're sick and we can freestyle and these choreo heads, blah 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 blah. And I was always like, because I came from like that scene, and I was like, guys, I've been there, trust me, if they want to come over here, they will fucking destroy us. The difference is they're all over there getting paid to do jobs. We're working 8-hour days for free. That's why no one's coming. Like there's some crazy like creative minds in the choreo world. Like think of even someone like Will West or something like someone that good. If you decided for Michael Naylor, any of these people decided for a second to dedicate like an ounce of interest to the battle scene, they'd fucking smoke us. Like it's I mean,
Michael Naylor did the AIM thing, and he like smashed it up. Like,
and if
he did.
If you look at the people who are good, Brooke's a choreo head.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I know.
There are examples of this. It's like it just takes them to find a way to monetize it. And it's crazy. And I think for me, a lot of the reason our scene has grown over the last 7, 8, 10 years is because of the crossover from choreo. Like if you take all the people that have like influxed into the scene, like a lot of them came from Boy Blue or these type of like choreo
groups.
And now there's a bit more of a transition and it's not so separated. You do get a way higher level. But I think also it's like, if there was a way to get money, or even if the conditions were just nice, you know, it's like you'd get way more people. Like I always said that about Quayle. I was like, I wish he like wanted to be a battler because the same mind that created Vice. I'm like, what you could do with like a fucking set of tuts, or you know, it's like it's crazy.
For real.
So I think like, you know, if we the more the conditions rise, the higher caliber of people will get, and maybe the older generation and stuff. But
I really think that, you know, like if it was like that, the older generation would definitely like stick around a lot more and just like kind of like help the scene grow a bit more as well.
Yeah, because part of my like reservation of entering is just like, all right, I'm gonna sit around for 4 hours waiting for my name to be called.
Bro, honestly, that's why I don't come to battles sometimes.
Do a 30-second round while I'm cold.
Yeah, long.
Then wait another 4 hours until my round. And it's just like, and then it's hot, it's sweaty.
Exactly.
It's
and
just
then
like,
even if I win, I get £100.
Exactly. Yeah. If there was a, like, and this is why I think in the breaking scene, you've got a bit more variation of like the amount of people, because there's a way more infrastructure to it, I think.
Well, yeah.
But yeah. I think we're running late.
Is it?
Well, not late, but it's just a long one. Not that I give a shit.
Juicy, meaty.
Yeah, I mean, if people
come on, the first time here.
If people,
got a lot to say.
Oh, you know what? I have one more thing I wanted to say. I've been meaning to say this for a while, and if you want to weigh in, you can.
Yeah,
you don't have to. I want to give a shout out to, I don't want to call them younger gen anymore because I think we need to retire that. I think they are the current generation of hip hop dancers, but like Kane, UPG, Carl, Josh Gadget, like all those people, right? I think, first of all, we need to stop calling them young gen. They're the gen.
Current gen.
We're the old gen.
Yeah,
they're the current ones.
Gen, yeah.
And there's even like people like Maisie and stuff who I think now they're the young gen.
Right.
But you know, one thing that I'm really, and I said this to Kane personally, but I want to say it on the pod as well, is like they're doing really well and they're getting success and they're winning stuff and they're starting to get a name and stuff. And I'm proud of them for that. And I think it's dope. But I almost couldn't give a shit about the wins and the losses and like how many you could win 100 battles or you could win 3. I don't really care. But what I'm really proud of these guys for is like all the human stuff around it. And I've been looking at it and I've been seeing it way more, but it's like just the fact that they all support each other.
What?
Like the battles between these guys and like people like even like Kane and Carl who aren't in the same crew and stuff, like they get really heated. They really go for each other, but they're so supportive before and after, and they hug each other and they're like, you know, they'll sit behind. Like,
I love the sitting behind each other.
Yeah, and just like they really support each other. And you know, even there was one battle on the weekend where I think it was Idris that was battling and Kane was behind him and Idris was like, shout out to Idris because he's getting good as well, but like he was 100. Going really hard and he lost and he was like in it and like heated and like he finished and they voted against him and he was kind of like went back and he kind of stood there and Kane like got up and went to him and I was watching Kane and I saw him mouth it and he goes, go say thank you to the judge. And it's like just to remind, and it just goes cool. And I was like, that is what I'm fucking proud of these guys for. It's like for Kane to be like, yo, you're heated, you're in it. Don't forget to go and be polite. And it's like, for me, that's the shit that is going to carry you as professionals, but also as people. And like, that's the sort of shit that like makes the world go around. You know, it's like these
I hear
like,
you, man. No, I agree.
Human moments, the connection between them, the like supporting each other. And no matter how heated it gets, you know, they're not like talking shit about each other or like, oh, that guy they're just like, yo, at the end of the day, it's a battle, it's fine, you know. And they seem to have level heads about it. And like, I just like, I wanted to say that for a while, but I think like that sort of stuff for me, like if my opinion holds any weight, is way more important than any of these fucking wins. Like I'd rather see that than you guys be successful, you know, with the battles and stuff like that. Cause I think it's like, there's certain places that the scene hasn't had that.
I was gonna say, because like back in the day I feel like the battle scene was very like, I don't want to say toxic, but like it was definitely like, you
not
know,
the greatest.
It was not a fun it wasn't a fun place to be, I guess. But like now, I agree. Like I see the support, I see the motivation between all of them. Even when they're battling, it's just like, no, I'm gonna smoke you, bro. And then it's all like fun and games afterwards.
And that's the best thing is like they're able to support each other without it being some like big kumbaya hugging each other. It's like, no, still go at each other when the time.
Of course, I'll still smoke you, but
exactly. But no, I
rate that for real, man.
Yeah. And I think it's also, I have to shout out you as part of this, but it's like, I think I was thinking about this a lot while I was doing my live stream, but like I think a lot of the reason that they're like that is because of the way that our generation has like passed down the shit. Like I feel like this new generation, when they came in, were not like shunned or like we're not seen as like no, you guys don't know what you're doing. It was like cool, let's all work together. And like a lot of our, you know, with Clara and in the house with you with Tribeways, I said this ages ago, but like there's a lot of people that have taken on these mentorship positions and really embraced the younger generation. And I think having that support allows them to not be toxic. Because they're just like, our examples
I feel like
are
we're pushing them forwards. We're like, bro, go and like smash it, go abroad and like go and kill it for the UK and stuff. Like,
and even the most like tension moments there's been is like, you remember when Sean said like about the younger generation? It's like, he like, that was like a tension moment, let's say, but he was telling them, you're so good, you need to leave the country to go do
it's
stuff.
Motivation.
Like,
for real.
It's like there hasn't been any real like negative like, oh, these kids don't know what they're talking about or anything, which I think gives them a good example of like how, as they come in the scene, the way we treat them is the way they're going to treat each other and the new generation. Yeah, I think
even just the little things of like, you know, when I pull up to an event or something like that, and like they say hello and they greet me and like, you know, it's all love and all of that. So like, I do really appreciate that energy at a battle. I think that's what makes the battle event so much nicer. When everyone's just more supportive, and like, even if you don't know someone like personally and stuff, like you still cheer, you still like give love and stuff. So like, yeah, man.
Yeah, I think that's
like
dope.
Vibes.
So yeah, just wanted to say shout out to you guys for doing what you're doing.
Yeah, man, big up.
And obviously keep going and winning, keep getting success, keep making your money. Don't forget that part, it's important.
Yes.
But yeah, all the like supporting each other, building community within yourselves, like training people, taking people under your wing, all that stuff goes a long, long way for the community. So yeah, that's it. That was my last point.
You did it.
Any final thoughts from you guys?
No.
Another long one. You guys have 2 long podcasts for this week, so don't shout at me about missing last week's one. Guys, thanks everyone for tuning in to the Capsule, for supporting us and like checking out all our stuff. Thank you to the British Movement Awards for recognizing the work. I appreciate that one.
Big up.
Yeah, do keep locked onto our channels because there's plenty of stuff coming up, and I sound like one of those fucking people that's like, big things coming, just like over and over.
They are though.
Have you seen those memes?
No.
It's like about talking about local DJs just saying big things are coming. Like, I'll send you something. Fucking funny. Anyway, yeah. So thanks for all the support. Keep tuned. Send the stuff to a friend. Tell a friend about it and all that stuff. Help us, support us, like us.
Tuned.
I don't even know what to say. Keep tuned. Yeah, like if you're already stay tuned.
Yeah,
Keep tuned is not grammatically
Keep
incorrect,
watching.
isn't it? Everyone has clicked off this podcast now.
It's not grammatically incorrect, isn't it?
Peace, guys.
In a bit.